Welcome to the 100th episode of the Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends from the Delaware County area, we get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is, of course, going to be our 100th episode special. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat, Chris Trio.
Gooch, it's fantastic to be here. 100 episodes. That's almost as many years as it would take to get back to what? Like the beginning of the turn of the century, almost like the 1920s.
You mean like what, 100? It'd be 1924.
Correct. Thank you for that easy math.
Depression era?
Yeah. It's wild how much time that really expands to. So if we put our episodes into years, it's wild.
I was like, where are you going with this?
Anyways, I'm excited to talk about this penultimate episode. Not penultimate. This is like we've done well over 100 episodes.
This is not the penultimate.
No.
We're not ending.
No, we're not. Don't worry. But we've done well over 100 episodes, obviously.
We have.
But this is our 100th episode of this podcast, obviously.
Yeah. Of the main topical show proper.
Exactly. The Delco Nerd Network podcast. Yes.
Right.
But I'm excited, Gooch. How you doing?
I'm good, man. This is going to be interesting. We've never done reacts content, especially not reacting to ourselves.
No.
So the stuff we're watching is from 2011, so that was 13 years ago. Yep. That's like weird.
It's disgusting, actually.
That's weird.
So what? We would have been...
You were a sophomore, I was a junior.
Right. Damn.
Yeah.
It's weird that we're like 10 years out of high school, too. I mean, I'm like 10 now.
I mean, I just had my 10-year reunion.
Right, yeah. Mine will be coming up, yeah. We're both on that cusp. Of course, Gooch is a year older than me, so we're a little behind the scenes lore for everyone. Yeah,
so what we're going to be doing, we'll talk about what we're doing, watching, playing, like we usually do with the podcast.
Right.
But hey, if you're new here, welcome. Good episode to jump in on.
Absolutely.
You know, we decided we wanted to do something, just a little bit different for the 100th episode. I mean, I don't think we have to celebrate every single milestone. Like, are we going to do 200? Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see
when we get there in like
talk to you in another 7 years. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, we decided we wanted to do something a little different. We, kind of had the content to do this. Me and Trio did, when I was doing Let's Plays on my normal channel, this is where this is coming from. So the Amnesia The Dark Decent was pretty hot, and there were a lot of custom maps coming out for it, and I decided to have Trio over, and we played a custom map that I split up into 4 episodes. So that's what we're going to be reacting to. It's like 4 parts. It's like 8, 11, 5 minutes long. So it should be interesting to watch, because like besides like the very beginning, I've watched none of this.
This is some of our earliest content, Gooch.
This is the earliest
This is before
content.
Really going far back to Everything Entertainment podcast that we did. How long did we do that?
Be funny of reacting to that.
That would be funny.
That would be much. This is like much more like cringy. I mean, it would probably still be cringy.
I was gonna say there's probably something layers to that. I mean, dude, we used to talk about all the Arrow weekly episodes.
Oh my god!
I used to remember wanting to kill myself trying to get through because we just have like all the CW shows to review every week, and then we'd have all the different ones. We were like, what are we doing to ourselves? What's happening?
Yeah, that was like stupid.
It's all right. We live and we learn.
Like the way we structured that podcast was like, imagine if we were still doing like that style. We would have like exploded.
No, yeah, and I think we would have had to do it some different type of way, because it was a lot of like news, and then we do reviews of shows. We were just trying to do too much in one thing. I think that was our major issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wild to see where we've come.
Yeah,
Look at this table, Gooch. Look at this setup.
Yeah, I know. We have come far. Even like a year and a half ago with like the, when we still had the fold out table with the tablecloth, and even before these mics.
It's funny that was a year and a half ago.
Did you see that clip I posted on our Instagram story?
Yeah.
It was the Alter Carbon season 1 hot take. And I wasn't on that because I didn't watch it. And I took the video and I was like, damn. I mean, Tim was still around. Yeah. Old table, Yeti mic, which I still have, but like the whole
the singular mic.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But then after the reaction stuff, we're going to do a Q&A, which we asked you fine folks listening and or watching to submit anything and everything for us to ask. And we got about 15 questions, and they're all pretty varied. There's mostly gaming and like non-gaming stuff, meaning like real world things. Yeah. I think we have like one movie question or two, but
I was reading them over because I kind of wanted to can a few. I
should have mentioned that to you. I
no,
was like,
it's all right.
I was imagining
you did. Anyways,
I was imagining you did.
Yeah. And I did. So it worked out.
Yeah, because there's one that I'm like, wow, I really had to like sit down and like think and like look some stuff up. But yeah, before we get to our reacting trio, what have you been up to? What have you been watching, doing, playing?
I've been doing actually a pretty good amount, Gooch, I gotta say. So we'll start with the movies and TV wise, of course. I saw Kung Fu Panda 4, which we're not gonna get to review. And I thought, I mean, because you know, I mean, do you want to go see it? I'm an avid Kung Fu Panda fan. I love all three of those movies. I think they're honestly some of the like most solid and fun animated movies out there. Mm-hmm. This is definitely the weakest one so far, I think. Okay, because the third one,
that's understandable.
Yeah, and I mean, you've seen them?
I think the first one.
I mean, there's deep Kung Fu Panda lore, so I'll catch up. But in the third one, of course, it ends with him like kind of fully becoming like the Dragon Warrior and like really kind of coming into his own. And then this next one's about him, I guess, training the next Dragon Warrior and choosing it. And it did feel a bit like kind of haphazardly put together. They brought back all of the villains from the last movies, but they're only there in person. Only one of them speaks, and it's Tai Lung or whatever from the first one, the White Tiger guy.
I remember him.
From John Wick, the actor who plays him, the hotel owner.
Oh yeah,
and he's great. But then
what's his name? God,
I'm forgetting it off the top of my head. He's really good, but you just have all these kind of other people coming from the spirit realm who are all his other villains from the last three movies. They're just in the background, just kind of looking like they don't say anything. I didn't mind the new Dragon Warrior character. I can't remember. It's played by Awkwafina. I can't remember her name, Jay or something like that in the movie. She's fun, but you know, it definitely felt like kind of going back to the well because they knew it was successful and they didn't like necessarily have anything super crazy or important to tell story-wise, which is sad because I do think those are some really solid stories and fun movies.
I think other people kind of agree with you.
Yeah, and
I hear other people say the same thing.
The freaking 5 were just kind of ignored. They show up at the end and then don't say a word. So it's like, ooh, did you put that in late? What happened there? That felt a little weird. But I don't know. I did enjoy it overall. Definitely the weakest of the 4.
How was Jack Black?
Fantastic. You know, he's there to kill it, and he puts his all in, which I always appreciate. So, and I think what's his name is Master Shifu is always great. Dustin Hoffman. I really
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. I meant to say. I just kind of stuttered.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. Other than that, I finally have gotten around to Gooch, and I don't know if you've actually watched this show, Peaky Blinders.
No.
I've been looking for something to watch.
Not a Peaky Blinders guy.
I don't know why, mate. There's so many different accents in that. Hilarious accents. I don't know what really kind of inspired me. You know, I always hear good things about Peaky Blinders. My brothers always bring it up. My girlfriend always talks about how good it is too. They're only 6-episode seasons, which I really like. So I just plopped it on and I got sucked in. I'm on the 5th episode of the first season, and the Peaky Blinders say hello. And I gotta say, it's really great.
Is that what they say before they kill somebody? Do they kill people?
Oh yeah. Well, so they have like. Do you know anything about them? They have like I guess they kept like razor blades in their hat. Like they had those like flat caps, and on the rim they'd keep razor blades, and they'd like cut people's ears off and like tongues out and shit. Like they were no
so
fucking
this is like
joke.
Real?
Yeah, the Peaky Blinders were a real gang. I don't know how much of the actual show.
I thought
is
Peaky
like,
Blinders was like the Tom Hardy's in it, right?
Yeah.
I thought Tom Hardy was the titular Peaky Blinders.
He's not even in the first season. Oh. Which is funny. I didn't realize that. I'm watching. I'm like, where's Tom Hardy?
So
at?
Who's the main star in the
Cillian Murphy?
Oh right, yeah.
And he's fucking awesome. It like kind of explores the idea of these guys coming back from World War I with all the PTSD and shit, and just kind of trying to figure it out during that time period. I forget what exact. I guess that would be when's World War I again? 1904, right?
No, the tens. Like 1916, 17,
oh
18.
Okay, it is that late. Oh shit, all right. But yeah, it's very good, and it talks about like Cillian Murphy, like his character Thomas. Yeah, he's Tommy Shelby. He's dealing with like opium addiction and stuff like that. It's interesting. I gotta say, I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. Very much earns its reputation. And I actually started yesterday, Gooch, which I mean we'll of course fully review, but I just feel the need to talk about it already. Was X-Men 97. I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Like I was actually blown away by how much I enjoyed them. Mm-hmm. I never watched the original series. I didn't really know much about what was going on. I think they did a good job of catching me back up. I like the plot elements they're adding in with Magneto. Magneto's whole outfit's hilarious. I love that he has like the long gloves. I don't know. Just the whole style of that whole...
They're like all the way up to his like...
It's all the way up to his arm like that.
I don't think I never realized
You need to
that.
see... It's so funny. It's so funny. All the voice acting's amazing. Dude, Cyclops, man. he gets his due, and I love it. Have you seen the clip of him doing his like landing yet?
I think.
I kind of wish I didn't have that spoiled, but there is so much. There's one scene with Storm in the second episode, which I won't spoil. That is like, I was like cackling like a little child. I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, I thoroughly enjoy everything I'm seeing so far. Hopefully it can keep it going there. Other than that, games wise, I've been continuing on with my Arkham playthrough. I'm at Origins right now, and Gooch, I'll tell you what, it sure is a Batman game, and it's not bad. But it's nothing like to write home about. Now that
I feel like we're past that.
Yeah, and
you know that shitting on Origins. Where
well,
people
no, and I don't
like,
think you have to like. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people do give it a lot more credit now, for sure.
Yeah,
and I think it deserves that to a degree, for sure. But it is funny playing through like all of these in a row. You do see where it is just very much a kind of an asset use of Arkham City in a lot of ways. An asset flip. Thank you.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, and they explore a lot of things that have been kind of explored, and there are also some through lines that I'd have to look into. Like I'm kind of wondering why Bane looks the way he does, and then he looks differently when you get to him by the time he's in like Arkham.
Well, I mean, Batman's whole facial structure.
Arkham Asylum. No, it's true, but like Origins. It's like he looks.
I think
like,
I took one of the glaring things, and it's Roger Craig Smith
for sure. But that's like
Batman.
down to animation. This is more like. He looks like a completely different, like,
I don't know.
I'm trying to describe him from like of a Bane we've seen in a comic. He's more of like the big kind of hulking guy already that has the luchador mask. But when you see him in Arkham Asylum at first, he's almost like the version that you see in Batman and Robin before he's changed. He's like the weedy little like, and they put him in like the thing, and then he blows up really big.
Right.
But yeah, Origins is fun. I don't like who plays Batman in it though.
Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah, he died.
It's a weird pick.
He tries to like not Snake Plissken it. He tries to Jesus God boss it. He sounds very much like this. He's always kind of talking in a super serious voice, and I don't know. It's like this affectation he's using that It was an interesting choice.
It's a different role for him. He doesn't really do this
because he's
kind of
amazing as Ezio. I didn't realize that was the same person.
Yeah, but like he does a lot of like jokey, like he does Sonic, and like he's a lot more like like I think Ezio is probably one of his more serious roles.
Yeah, it's a lot like this. Like I don't know. It's
he's the Solid Snake.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Craig Smith is Batman.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily work for me, and it's funny because. You can definitely tell that Troy Baker is trying to do like a proto Mark Hamill, which works very well.
Could they not get them for that game?
That's another thing that's confusing to me is like so you have voice actors who are reprising, like Penguin is still the same Penguin. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty confident Alfred's the same Alfred. I meant to look into that actually.
Deathstroke the same in Night?
I don't know for a fact. I'd have to go back and listen
he's
to
so
them.
He
is so briefly in Night. So, and that's the other thing. All of the like storylines continue on from Origins, especially with like Firefly and Deathstroke. Like, so those are clearly connected.
Oh, Firefly's in Origins?
Yeah.
Okay,
he's
cool.
one of the like the hitmen that is out for you that night.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So yeah, some weird inconsistencies there, but hey, man, pizza's still pizza, as they say, and I'll fucking eat that pizza every time. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to get to Night though, for sure. I was thinking about if I could find it on the low, buying it on my PC to play at 60 frames like a psycho. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how well it runs.
Why are you psychopathic?
Yeah, you're right. Well, because I have to buy it a second time.
I mean...
Yeah, that's not psychopathic. I guess you're right. It's because
it's been a while.
I want the...
Right,
it's true.
if you can get on a deal, pretty sane individual, I would say.
And I did see it actually pop up. I missed it. I was kind of sad. It popped up on a deal, and I was like, and then I had this thought like a month later. I was like, oh, I could have just bought it on there at that time. But we'll see if it goes back up. Other than that, I've been playing some Armored Core 6, Gooch.
Yeah, Fires of Rubicon.
Fires of Rubicon.
Trio's core is armored.
My Armored Core is armored. It's fucking awesome. I gotta say,
I don't know if I'm ever gonna get around to it. I like,
understandable.
Like it's just not my genre. I feel like it did kind of like come and go
for sure
last year. Like I know it was like sort of coming out like when everything else was coming out, and maybe it would have done better if on a different year because it was kind of like the lower end titles of like interests. Like people who were like some of the From Software people jumped on it. I know the Armored Core fans were back into it, but like it didn't make it like it didn't even make a splash in the pool.
No, I agree, and I think it kind of is a little sad because it's a very well made game. It's super tight control wise. It's very satisfying to defeat the bosses. There's an online multiplayer element, which I didn't even realize, that makes total sense though, where you can do like arena battles with your different ACs.
I don't think
I didn't know
think
that.
I knew that.
It
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Souls,
exactly.
yeah.
When you think about it, but I don't know why. I do love all the design elements, how you can customize your AC, the color scheme. I do find myself using most of the same like builds though, because once you get something
really
that's, I'm like, this is good, and there's all the stats on the other ones are worse than this, but I don't like the look, Gooch. The look doesn't match the stats, and that always makes me sad. But you know what? They're not letting me take the easy way out. I can't just swap stats on it or anything. So I got to stick with what I want, or what I want stat wise over aesthetic.
Sure.
But yeah, man, it's a really fun game. Not necessarily a game I would have expected to really get into. I don't know why it really piqued my interest when I saw it. I think.
Did you get it on sale?
I did. That was
Digitally?
No, physically. I was in the store actually pre-ordering Dragon's Dogma, and it was only $34. So I was like,
it's not bad. It's not a bad deal.
It's still 60 or 70 or whatever, like the main price was on digital.
Right.
So
yeah.
Hey man, you're gonna get a good discount a lot of the time if you, one, wait, and two, go physical. So definitely keep an eye out. But yeah, I would highly recommend it, especially if you did like FromSoft stuff. It's very much akin to Dark Souls in the way of like learning patterns of your enemies and kind of figuring out the best builds and attacking in that way. But it's very linear in the way of its level design, which I actually appreciate. I finish a mission in almost like 2 minutes sometimes. Like they can be really quick. Other ones are more, involved and longer. I've finally been getting to more kind of tight spaced areas. I think I might be on the last boss right now, but I don't know for sure. I would definitely recommend it though, even if you're sort of interested, especially if you can get it on sale. Other than that, Gooch, I need to get back to this. I kind of touched on it, but then I got distracted again by Baldur's Gate and my other playthroughs and such. The System Shock remake. I think
I think you put that down a while ago.
I did. Well, it's just because I bought it and then I started it and then I finally actually kind of hit my stride with Baldur's Gate. So I really need to pick it back up again. But from the first 2 hours that I played, it's very cool. It seems to be very accurate to what the original was from what I'm reading. Of course, I never played it. Very involved, like direction wise. So they don't give you any waypoints or anything like that. You get all of your tabs of information, and you're finding audio logs, text logs, all that good stuff that kind of inform you on what you have to do. And that's been interesting. It's been tough for sure. I've had to look up some guides here and there, but I'm enjoying it overall, and you can definitely see how it's a precursor to those like BioShock games. And such
sometimes
like
there's more hardcore experiences like Tomb Raider. I'll talk about that, but like that does the same thing, and it's linear. Like you can get lost in some of the levels, but like I never actually had to look up what to do.
Right.
In that game, you can kind of use photo mode to fly around and kind of cheat and see where things go to kind of figure it out.
Okay.
And I kind of like that because it is like an in-game way. Like you're not cheating. You're not like solving anything. You still have to go find it or get there.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, like how do I get up there? And it's like go through and it's like, oh, okay. So now I got to find a way to get up there. It gives you, a little bit of help.
Sure.
But overall, it's like, no quest markers. The game doesn't have any objective. Like it's just like, hey, you just need to continue through the level and get to the end of the level, and that's how you know.
It is funny how games used to just be like that. Just like you just have a level, get to the end of the level for most of the time.
I mean, a lot of times games were just super linear.
I was going to say, exactly, yeah.
And eventually in Tomb Raider, you'd find where to go. Hopefully
that's the idea, anyways.
Yeah.
No white paint to mark.
No, anything. No yellow paint.
Oh man,
Banishers does there's those kind of ledges like everywhere. It's a bit. It's like. Yeah, like people were bitching about it in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I'm like, it's really not.
It's
that
just
bad.
part of, and like again,
it's a part of not telegraphing,
signposting, and I think maybe in an optimal world, maybe it would be cool if there was a way you could turn those off. But yeah, I agree. Like, you need, like, dude, the amount of people who would. The reason that's in there is because they play tested that 1,000 times, and people couldn't figure it the fuck out.
Right? Yeah, they kept getting stuck. I'm like, it's there because like people got lost or something like that.
One thing that is funny about playing the Arkham series through like this, like linearly, or at least timeline wise, is once I got to Origins, it's around that time where Batman keeps going, I think I have to get up here. I think we got to go over here, Gooch. Wait, I think we might. Like he's talking out like he's like, oh, I think you have to get up to that ledge. Wait, we might have to get up to that ledge. Like every 5 seconds, you know what I mean? Like Tomb Raider.
That's like
I'm
awkward
shut
for
the
like
fuck
Batman.
up. Yeah, and I
you
think
know?
the idea is he's supposed to be having his like inner monologue, but I feel like there was a time, and I think it's even backed off. I remember in Tomb Raider when you're trying to just figure out like the newer ones, you're trying to figure out a puzzle, and she's like, "I think it has something to do with that wheel." 5 minutes. I think it has something to do with that wheel. I'm like, okay, Laura, shut up.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then other than those, I've Helldivers 2, Baldur's Gate, still going through. Helldivers 2, so much fun. Play that game. Can't recommend it enough. But I did dip my toe slightly back into Mortal Kombat for a moment to try out Mr. Peacemaker.
Okay, I definitely put it down, and I don't know when I'll be back.
Yeah.
It's really just me grinding out fucking four more max level cameo fighters.
Jesus.
Like, oh my god, I don't know why they put that in as a trophy. 1, okay, fucking 5.
Can we relax?
And it's such a tough grind. But how does Mr. John Cena act and play as Peacemaker in MK1?
I played like probably 2 nights, 6 games maybe.
Okay.
Very fun. I like how much they use his helmet. The Eagly add-on is great too. He fights really well. I can't. It's tough for me to speak to this on a technical level as like a not big like fighting game person, but I really enjoyed playing as him. I thought he had a lot of fun and different moves. His combos were relatively simple and pretty easy to land for the most part, especially playing on normal against people. But I like him a lot for sure.
Cool.
I think so far he's definitely a cool add-on. I'm still excited to see what Homelander does.
I wonder who's gonna play him.
It is just so weird
That the way Anthony Starr talked about it.
But like then that
It's like he got mad or something.
But that leads me to believe that they just didn't ask him. And like, yeah,
I don't believe that.
But
they asked John Cena to do Peacemaker.
But then why would he say no?
Why would John Cena say no?
Why would Tony Stark or Tony Stark, Jesus Christ.
Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr. Why would he say
I mean, they got his likeness, right?
That's what I mean.
They like have halfway there.
Well, but they have Homelander's likeness, so they don't necessarily they go through like whoever owns the rights to the TV show. So technically, I
guess Amazon.
Yeah, so that would be through Amazon. They don't necessarily have to. So I don't know. I think they didn't ask him because I think he would have said yes in a minute.
You know what? That you're actually no. Maybe you're not right, because here's what I'm gonna say. They got John Cena through WB because they're partners.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So there's probably like no.
There's not a lot of.
It's like, hey, you're gonna do this for us, and I'm sure John Cena's probably glad to do it.
Of course.
But I was gonna say they must be talking to the same people with Invincible, with Amazon, because
that is true.
Not likeness, but J.K. Simmons voices it. But again, J.K. Simmons has done games before.
Right.
There's a little bit different of a relationship there with him and the industry, but like it just.
But again, I think they only have to go through. I don't think they have to get permission from Tony Starr, because I do think Amazon technically owns that likeness to Homelander, not to Anthony Starr,
right? To
Homelander. So, but then that doesn't make sense to me. You're right. Why would they not like have Amazon set him up? It just seems like a weird thing for him to then come out and seem annoyed about it.
Right.
If he said no.
Right.
That
or
just wouldn't make any sense
a schedule
to me.
Conflict.
Exactly. Like he was like, oh, I couldn't do it. Yeah, that reads to me that he wasn't asked. And he's kind of pissed about it, which I kind of would be too, especially if they're getting J.K. Simmons and John Cena to do theirs.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Are they the only? Is there another? I know there's like not the MK people, like the 3 guests. It's 6 of them.
Yeah, I think it's just
Ermac,
Quan Chi, and who else? Who's the other third one? Mortal Kombat person. Yeah, is it Tremor?
No,
I know he's a cameo here. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm curious how long the DLC like will ride, because I guess on like the 4th one, John Cena is the 3rd one.
Yeah, the more I play that game though, the more I do really. It's such a half measure. I feel like they really did just put it out because like they could make it quick, and they
you think?
Yeah, because the way they've dumbed down a lot of the systems, mostly in the like cosmetic department. I felt like they were like, let's strip this back bare bones. We can do this very simple. Like they showed all the things for Peacemaker. There's like 5 helmets. Which again, the game's not about aesthetics.
My opinion of the game is definitely soured since we reviewed it. Like it's just like just like MK11, it's like kind of lackluster.
But yeah, like MK11 though I felt more meaty to me for some reason.
I had somebody tell me that like MK out of the fighters is probably like the worst one. Like
like in
Tekken,
history, like
no,
this,
no,
or
no.
even
Tekken
yeah.
and Street Fighter, like
Yeah.
their animations and their characters are just a lot cooler,
Interesting.
and they do a lot more with them. And I'm like, yeah, you know, now you think about it, and it's like,
I don't know who this last guy is. I just looked up a picture. I think it is Tremor, isn't it?
no, I don't know who that is.
Oh, here.
But yes, we are correct. There's another MK character
Yeah.
at the end of that besides Ermac. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Soured on a tiny bit. Yeah, that's it for me, Gooch.
So since you did TVs and movies first, I'll do mine. Of course, we rewatched Dune Part 1, and then we get to go see Part 2.
Yeah.
Not much to say. Go check out our Dune review. Also watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Again, go check out our hot take that is out. Marvel, What If Season 2.
Right.
Not bad, Trio, but again, I was watching it. I thought overall the Season 2 was a better season than Season 1. There's some weird face issues going on with the animation that I thought was just really odd. Like some people's faces, I'm like, what is it about your face
Yeah.
that just like makes me
It's like Uncanny
makes me want to like
Valley-ish.
squeeze it and destroy it?
Is it because they like don't quite look like their counterpart?
I think so.
Okay.
But like some episodes are good, or so it's like some faces are fine, but then
Yeah.
others are just like,
What's up
is
here?
it?
Yeah.
And just like, you know, I just
Yeah,
want
you
to punch
can't-
him.
yeah, I don't like it.
But I did kind of like they had like a through line of like Captain Carter, you know, kind of like spoilers stopping Strange Superior at the end, and they have a few episodes with her. There's some one-off stuff, but it's not as through lined as the first season. There's only like 2 or 3 episodes that like tie into like the last episode. And my favorite episode happened to be, I don't really like, they seem to be like, okay, let's do an origin and put like another character in that origin. So they do like Shang-Chi and Hela, but the Thor origin with Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they're kind of just like picking up and like dropping in other places, but like they did the first episode is what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps, and it has nothing to do with any movie. They're
Right.
obviously Guardians characters
Sure.
in it, but it's just like
It's not like what if
they
Captain
stopped
Carter instead of
they stopped
Captain America.
Thanos earlier,
Yeah.
and like she just becomes like on her own, and she becomes part of the Nova Corps, and I'm like, this is interesting because it's not a movie.
Completely
You're
separated.
doing like a totally original script here. It's more interesting to watch.
It
And
was
then
like with T'Challa being Star-Lord.
right. It's
yeah.
like, or like Tony Stark, but like Killmonger's
Yeah.
there, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, like you're just doing like the two origins like
Yeah,
together
kind of,
in a way.
I agree.
And there was another one. It's like, okay, like the Thor. What if Thor like had a party on Earth or whatever? Like I fucking hated that episode from season 1. They do like a similar one that I actually ended up kind of liking. It's like Happy Hogan Saves Christmas, and they're having like a Christmas party, and like Hammer gets out of jail, and he like tries to take over Stark Tower, and I'm like, okay, like I actually liked it. Like that was pretty good.
Yeah,
like it was
interesting.
like dumb, but
And
like
different,
but
but
it was
different,
like
yeah.
it wasn't like a movie.
Right.
So I ended up appreciating it. But again, I think if we would have like tore through it for the review, I probably would have been like more negative on it.
Right.
Just because it just does seem like again I don't think like many people watched What If season
Yeah.
2. I think like that kind of Marvel stuff has been really tuned out lately,
Sure.
and that's a whole other
And I mean, and that's
conversation.
about as ancillary as you can get.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
So-
It's just like you don't have to watch
No,
this at all.
and
it's like, all right, I'm
does
not.
it feel like they kind of leaned into that though? At least where it's just like this is just like you're like this is
You know,
just
it
kind of
oddly
like
feels more connected to the multiverse stuff than anything else that they're doing in the movies.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because it's all multiverse stuff.
Right,
and
right.
It's, yeah, but there's one of the episodes with Captain Carter. She gets like teleported back to like the 1600s. That's cool.
Ooh, that does.
Yeah,
sound
I think
pretty
it's a
cool.
comic too.
Oh,
it's based off an actual Marvel comic, which is like again a thing we haven't seen from the movie, but they
Right.
they tie some different cool stuff into it. I won't
Interesting.
spoil that, but so 2 movies as I'm prepping for the DNNs. You know, got to get those Oscar films in.
Yeah, I got to start doing something.
I watched The Holdovers.
Right.
It's one of my favorites.
It's great.
I won't talk about it a ton because I want to get into it on the DNNs, but man, loved The Holdovers.
Did you see the plagiarism stuff?
I saw it, but I don't
So
know
it
what
seems
it
very. I need to look
is.
into it more.
Is it that writer plagiarizing the movie?
No, so that writer, a different screenwriter then the one that wrote the holdovers is saying that the person who wrote the holdovers copied his script, like almost whole cloth in some areas, like line for line. You know, I don't know how true that is. We'll see how it all kind of bears out. I'm sure it'll shake out the way it's supposed to, hopefully. But it's a fantastic film.
Yeah,
it's so much. It's so
cool
much,
slice of life
so
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to give you the premise, like, there's a group of kids who go to a private school and they are held over for the holidays. They don't have anywhere to go, so a teacher has to stay back and watch them. Like, that's the premise of the movie.
Paul Giamatti plays the teacher. He's like a kind of surly, annoyed, like just annoyed with life gentleman.
Yeah, Dominic Sessa. It plays like one of the main kids, and he's awesome. He's
I would
actually
say he plays the main kid. Honestly,
you know who he reminds me of? Luke.
I totally agree.
I texted Luke. I'm like, you got to watch the holders. And I'm like, you're in it.
So do you know where they got that kid?
He's from New Jersey.
Yeah, he's from the high school they filmed in. Apparently, they couldn't find, like, they were doing auditions, and they were like, at least I'm pretty confident.
They couldn't find a school?
And they just couldn't find people they liked, and they were like, well, let's talk to the drama department in the high school, see if there's any, like, aspiring actors in there that we could audition.
Dude,
and I think I'm pretty confident he was from that. And it's funny because you could, like, he was at the Oscars, and I love it.
He's like the most normal person.
He's just fish out of water. They're like, what'd you think? He's like, I thought it was pretty good. You know, it's really great to be here.
Yeah,
fun
he's
time.
Awesome.
He seems like a really cool guy. He seems like a very normal.
Yeah,
just
but
dude
he's
kinda,
from Jersey.
Yeah,
like, so not too far from here, obviously.
Really amazing and fun aesthetic. Yeah, we'll get more into that with the DNNs, but definitely recommend that.
A bit on the other side of the scale, I watched Poor Things.
Oh, how was that? You mean porn things? No.
Yeah, like really though.
That's what I heard.
Like not great, Trio.
Not great. It's just a lot of, like,
I think Lily Gladstone
sex.
was kind of robbed of that Oscar. I don't think Emma Stone really does. I don't think she thought she was going to win. Did you see her exactly? She does not think she's going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love Emma Stone. I think she does a good job in the role, but the movie is fucking weird.
So
and it's
like,
really sexual. Like in like a really raw kind of like sex for sex, not sex for sex sake, but like it's just like it's something a dude wrote. You know,
sure, dude,
like,
movie,
like a very
bro time,
but like not like that, like in an artistic way,
which
makes it
time.
even worse, probably. You know, like it's
let's get together and watch Poor Things.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Watch Emma Stone fuck some people, eh?
Do you see her?
Yeah,
like, you do.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
you do.
Interesting.
It's weird.
Okay,
I would say like watch it, like especially like again, like
I feel
any
like
Oscar
I kind of
movie.
have to. Yeah,
I don't know what you're planning on like getting through for the DNNs, but
I'm definitely.
I would put it on your list just because like it, you know, it's such an
maybe
Oscar.
I'll make my girlfriend watch it with me.
It might be kind of awkward.
It's a bunch of fucking. Who cares?
Okay.
Right? Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It sounds sex. Like it's not like romantic
sounds like something.
sex.
I know, but it sounds like something I maybe wouldn't want to watch with my parents.
No,
for sure.
Mark Ruffalo, really good in it. Very different role.
Interesting.
It's so cool to see those Marvel actors like not in Marvel roles.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, they were doing not. That's.
I mean, and Mark Ruffalo fucks Emma Stone.
Yeah, no, but I mean, and those Marvel guys, they were doing non-Marvel movies before. Just no one really cared.
Right. They weren't like like,
and even still like Chris Evans. Like I saw The Gray Man in season. I'm like. I don't remember
him in The Gray Man.
I don't remember it at all. I don't know.
I think that was I mentioned in the DNN. It's like honorable mentions. I like that movie.
Interesting.
It was fun. And
I don't remember it. I don't. That's the problem. Anyways.
So let's switch over to games.
Yeah.
Trio, I've done it. I'm done the Callisto Protocol. I've gotten all the trophies. I did my Contagion run. It took me a while. A lot of save scumming. Playing offline. When I died, delete the save, re-upload it from the cloud, start the level over. The second level, remember the one with the slide? That took me.
I remember you telling me that last time. Yeah,
and it was just I was fucking up,
just
left and right,
yeah.
like you know, like it was like I was. As soon as I got past it, breeze. Done.
Of course.
I died like one or two more times through it, but I got through it. And I found out, remember I was telling you like there was like an achievement glitch that like you would beat it and then the achievements wouldn't
you had
pop?
to do like you think you talked about this last podcast. You had to like do a weird save thing where you went in.
Yeah. So I basically had to like trick the server. I don't think it's a bug. I think the game's servers are fucked up.
Interesting. So
it's
like
not like
you had to get up to
it.
like a certain point in the story, right? And then redo the ending or something like that?
Yeah, so I had to like load a New Game Plus from the file I originally played this New Game Plus from, play up to a certain point, save, quit, restart the game, and play for like a few seconds, quit out, and then load back into my save, do the ending, and it popped. So it's like you're kind of like rejiggering the servers, and like I'm like, it's not bugged. I'm like, it's definitely like the game not uploading the progress correctly.
Yeah.
And restarting the game, doing a few things like triggers it differently.
Interesting.
And I had to do it with Contagion again. I was like, oh my God, you know, like shitting bricks. And then I did it again and I popped it. And you know what's funny? I got an email from Striking Distance recently. They are making a weird game that looks like nothing like.
Oh yeah, it's like it's in the Callisto Protocol universe, right, or something?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
It's like some. It looks like some like indie like side scroller like fast game. I'm like,
it
wow.
looks like that Hitman Go thing almost.
Yes.
Like that's,
okay, we did see.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I was just like,
apparently they're working on a new IP too at the moment.
I'm like,
but
dude, this studio is.
It's just.
I mean, what's his face left? Glenn Schofield left. So.
I mean, if they're smart, they just perfect. Like Callisto has the bones of something that could be really cool.
And I literally just played it 4 times. Yeah. You're right, but that game is just like the combat system. Once you get it down, it's fun, man.
It is. It can get rhythm. It can get a nice rhythm to it.
It's a fun combat system to master, but like the story just sucks. Like it seems like they just pegged two actors and like, okay, like Karen Fukuhara and Josh Duhamel, let's go.
Great actors, did all they could.
Yeah,
but like,
and it's just like it's like we just did Dead Space again. It's like, that's
also
not what you needed to do.
But it's funny because it's also like not Dead Space. Because like
I
it's
love
so
how
much
it's
more
melee based.
No, and
like, that's cool.
And it's much more cinematic for sure in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whereas like, Dead Space is a bit more
beautiful
arcadey.
Game.
Yeah, like they're definitely going for that more filmic quality. So I think you can do that, but you just need to lean into some things more and like flesh some more things out.
Yeah, and like the enemy variety is pretty weak, and like it's worth one playthrough. It's worth playing through on sale and kind of, but like again, it is a really nice looking game.
It is, except for the fire. The fire looks awful. Remember I sent that to the group chat?
Dude. It's like what 2D texture.
They had it. It's so funny too because like if you think about it, there's like barely any fire in that game after the first part.
Yeah, there's like in the like when you go. Yeah, you're right. There's not like you're not like in fire space.
Such an odd thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised. That seems like something that's. I guess is fire hard to do in a game? I don't know. I don't develop
think
games.
so.
I don't think so either. I know water is the toughest thing to create CGI wise.
Yeah, it's like how many like fake fire effects are in movies? Like there's no way. It's bad.
Explosions.
Sorry, I just have to check if we're recording because the
okay.
fact that I can't watch the stream, it makes me scared.
I understand.
Makes me scared. But anyway, I'm still playing through Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. I don't know where I am in that game, but it's long.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing yet. I'm not on the it's a bad thing.
How is the gameplay loop going for you so far? Do you think
like it.
You do? Okay.
I actually love the way the game progresses you through its trees. It gets a lot, but the way it is slowly introduces you to a larger skill tree is impeccable.
Well done. Okay.
Impeccable.
That's something I'll pick up in a couple months.
The story is great. The acting is great. Like the side quests and stuff. You're kind of like, so you're the idea of the game is you're banishers and they're essentially ghost hunters,
right?
Essentially, like they banish ghosts.
And this is like pilgrim time, right?
Yeah, so they're in the new world. This is like 1600s, like it's still like Puritan era,
right?
And that's kind of where, but everyone knows who banishers are. Ghosts exist. Everyone's in on this,
right?
It's not like you encounter people and they're like ghosts are fake.
Yeah, like
everyone knows what banishers do.
They're established,
right? It's cool because it's kind of like real world, but like we're gonna do a little twist on it, and it doesn't feel weird.
Interesting.
And and you're playing as one of the banishers, the female banisher.
Are they like are they husband and wife? Or are they like partners?
They're in a relationship.
Okay,
yeah, and she dies. That's not a spoiler.
Right, it's like at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
right?
it's like I think it's like on the cut. Yeah, it's like
she's a ghost.
They
like
advertise this. Yeah. So she dies. So you play as Rory McWraith or Red.
Ooh, Rory McWraith. I like that.
Yeah. And their banter and dialogue together is really good. There's not a lot of NPC like talking to themselves. Like they have occasional, like sometimes like you'll come across something and they'll talk back and forth to each other, but it's nothing like, like the Batman from
Origins. Can like
Origins.
switch between them, right? Or something.
Yes.
So she's like in the spirit world or something, right? Or like,
well, no.
Or like she's on the different plane.
She's
just
a ghost.
Okay.
So you switch between the two.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's fun. I really like it's like playing two characters, but like you're one character.
Interesting.
The way the game, I really enjoy the game, but like again, the length, I'm not sure if it's killing me yet or if it's good.
It seems like it could be on the cusp there
because it's a $60 game and it seems to have a shit ton of content. So it's not like you're blitzing through it.
It does suck. It felt like they pushed that.
And you're
they
kind of like a
definitely-
ghost detective.
Interesting.
There's like hauntings, and you solve
You're
hauntings.
ghost busting a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, in a like more immersive way.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, yeah.
That sounds
You're not like
interesting.
running around with your rod, and there's like a beam
Did
of
that
light.
do-
You're crossing the beams.
Right,
and
right. Of
shit
course,
like
you don't
that,
want to cross the streams.
Yeah,
Did that do well? I
good
think
question.
it sucks because they pushed it out to avoid getting overshadowed. But remember, because it was originally supposed to come out in the
I'm
holiday
glad.
season.
I'm glad they did that.
I am too. But like, I still feel like it didn't like make a huge.
It's a
splash,
double A game,
unfortunately.
and it's like I'm really trying to champion these double A games that I'm playing because like these are the games that people need to buy in order to save video games.
Sure,
like and that's a bit dramatic, but like
no, I get what you mean though.
You got to invest in the smaller titles that are probably
To show they work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
And if they're good, of course, which this seems to be.
yeah,
But
yeah. Like it's just a fact of like we can't just buy all these Call of Duties and AAA games that get pumped out because it's like we're kind of in this state where there's too many games out and there's a ton of AAA bullshit and we're tired of the AAA bullshit. But again, we're not supporting the smaller. It's not about the indies. It's about like that in between that's still kind of been more on the precipice lately, like games like Greedfall, Plague Tale, Banishers.
I mean, look at like fucking
RoboCop. Like
yeah,
we have a lot of games that really like are double A, and like they just don't get a ton of attention all the time.
And but they are getting reviewed amazingly, which is awesome.
Right? Yeah, they don't hit the sales numbers they have,
No,
and that's kind of
absolutely.
the issue. We're getting a Greedfall too. I'm really excited to
And
see.
then we get Skull and Bones.
Right, a game that's been delayed
Oh, and
17
Suicide
times.
Squad kills the Justice League. And I think us two have been we've been trying to like. I mean, I know it's funny. Suicide Squad was the last straw for me, where I was like, I'm not buying this. I can't. I won't do it. And it is good to start just putting our money where our mouths are in the way of like, especially for this.
Yeah, and I do plan on reviewing it. I just don't know when I'm gonna finish
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, but no,
And I'm
that's
taking my time.
Exactly. And
I
that's
got
the
a lot
difference.
less games on my plate. I'm gonna talk about a lot of games here, but I'm literally just playing Rebirth and Banishers.
Yeah, I
and
couldn't.
Dragon's Dogma 2 tomorrow.
I couldn't
as of
imagine
recording.
like actually. I feel like it would take away from the experience a bit if we were to have to like get these out, like a review out, like pre-embargo or something. Like,
I'd fucking
like
hate
if
that.
you gave me like a like I just and I think I think Colin actually mentioned this on a different Sacred Symbols the other day, and it really resonated with me. It's like it's just not the way you're supposed to consume video games.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like it affects the way that you react to video
Yes, it
games and
does. Yeah.
and how you consider things because. I mean, you see everyone. I feel bad. You get these review embargoes. You have people reviewing games. They're given a time schedule because people want to know what's going on. But I do appreciate that we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And hey, if we did get bigger, and I guess the idea would be that we have to. I guess of course we would. But like
Maybe.
even like if we could sustain on just doing it the way we do it, that would be the optimal thing. Because again, not the way to consume a video game. Sorry, my tangent's over.
I also platinum Metal Gear Solid 3. I did my Foxhound run, which is basically a speed run, no alerts, no kills. A little easier than I thought it was going to be. It was fun.
How long?
I think you have to do it in less than 5 hours. But
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was all said and done, maybe like 2.5 hours.
And you have to do that on like the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not bad.
With, like, a guide, I
You have to
assume,
do
yeah.
like 20 or less saves. Yeah, I used the guide. It's not hard. There are like certain parts that are really difficult. The bosses can be kind of a
gonna
bitch.
say, yeah.
Yeah, because again, you're on European Extreme or Hard. You can do it on either or. And like
European
the
Extreme.
Fury was just like really annoying. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm just like, I saved right before him. Like I kind of used a guide to plan my saves. So it's usually going to probably save right before a boss. And it's like, because I don't. If I'm gonna like fucking grind on this thing, why would I get pushed back and
No,
I have to go
totally.
all the way? But like some bosses, like the pain was pretty tough, but Ocelot was really easy.
Interesting.
Like and the boss was kind of hard too as well. The bosses are really what gave me trouble, but everything else was pretty fine. I was a little rough in the beginning, like when you have to take down the Ocelots, like right in Operation Snake Eater, that was kind of hard, but not too shabby. Again, if I wasn't using a guide, I probably would have even like pulling my teeth a little bit.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to be quick and like on the nose with things, and if you do that, you're fine.
For sure.
And you have a lot of room to fuck up if you like realistically, you have a lot of room to fuck around.
That's good.
So like I had like still like 2.5 hours. So like when I was doing the boss, I wasn't really worried about when I finished. Just like, okay, can I?
Just
finish?
let's get finished.
I mean, you only have like 10 minutes to fight her, so I'm already timed.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, so you have 10 minutes. Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
I've also been playing the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remaster. We were talking about it earlier. I actually beat 1 and its level pack, unfinished business. And yeah, dude, it's been really fun to replay Tomb Raider 1.
I'm definitely going to do those at some point.
The way the game is structured, and I think I was telling you this before, like the jumping is based on like a grid system. So like when you jump forward, you jump 1 square. If you do a run and jump, you jump 2 squares. You can get to 3 squares if you run and jump and then do the hold. So you can catch the 3rd square. So like all your jumping and your platforming is based on this grid system. So like if you really understand it and like how the game works, you can become like a fucking master at this game.
Yeah.
And I was playing with like the modern control scheme, and with the modern control scheme, it's kind of hard to do like precision jumping. Using tank controls for that is like, you just have to do it that way. And I feel like you'll probably start on modern and then switch over to tank and stay on tank.
Interesting.
Tank controls aren't like that bad. It's not like the Resident Evil because there's no fixed camera.
Right, so there's still,
Yeah, like the camera's still behind her. And yeah, I mean, you know,
that just means you're using the D-pad, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Use the stick.
Oh, okay.
It means like you like move your character a little differently. It's kind of hard to even like explain without like doing
like seeing it. Sure.
But yeah, I, like
get up and show me.
The level pack is really interesting. This is some of the first time people have ever played this content. It was only on PC. It was never released on the PS1 version.
Oh,
because,
I guess
like,
that how would you have
unless
done that?
you re-release the game, but they only released it on PC, and I think it was through like a like you bought it, and it's literally just 4 extra levels in the Atlantis level. Spoilers, you go to Atlantis, and then the Egyptian level. I've never seen a game do Atlantis the way Tomb Raider does. It's really interesting. It's like exact opposite of what you think. Like the Atlantis level is like very. Think about Scorn. It's very fleshy and gross, and like the Atlanteans are like these like deformed like monster creatures.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. So and you go to Peru, Greece, Egypt, and Atlantis. There's like one in between level where you like before you get into Atlantis, you're in like a mine, but then it just leads into Atlantis. And you fight like only animals for the most part. Like there's a few human enemy bosses.
Interesting.
But like you're killing animals for the most part, like like wolves and like
that
jaguars
makes sense with the new
lions.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's great. There's a lot of value in this $30 collection. Again, you're getting 3 games plus their like level packs. I'm not exactly sure what the level packs entail with the later games. If they're like story oriented.
Right.
And the trophy lists are nuts, but they look to be a lot of fun. And I'm not doing the crazy thing, Trio. I'm not finishing one and then
moving on to the other.
Yeah. No, I am.
Oh.
I'm not going back to Platinum 1 and then move on to 2. I think I want to kill myself.
Okay, so you're platinuming 1, then moving on to 2.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm just gonna play 2 whenever I decide to play 2, and then like go back and do all that stuff later. Because I think I would kill myself.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that.
I would end up hating the games.
Well, and it's funny. I was gonna I platinum Arkham Origins, and I wanted to platinum Arkham City, and I can, but it's just like takes that little bit of effort to go back in and do it. And I wanted to get to Origins.
Yeah, there's a lot of like speed run or like complete the game with just using the default pistols, speed run, but then there's a lot of like fun trophies. So I'm looking forward to kind of going back and doing that.
Nice.
So I don't want to just put this unnecessary
like strain
bullshit on me.
Yeah,
to get to the next game.
That's you counteracting a Goochism. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. Define
working hard. Yeah.
Working hard. I played Dragon's Dogma, finished that, got all the achievements. I think the last time I was still playing through it.
Yep.
But I finished it. I did the new game plus, hard mode, speed run, and the Bitterback Island DLC. Trio, I think you're good to skip it. I mean, obviously we're a day away from Dragon's Dogma.
Thank God.
But I really think like I didn't really need to play this. I'm glad I did. I'm kind of glad I understand like, where we're coming from story-wise and gameplay-wise, and going to see how the game evolves, cuz Dragon's Dogma 1 It's good. It's got a cult following, but it like you can tell it's just like a sequel may make this so much better.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to see what Dragon's Dogma 2 does, and it's like, okay, like did they keep the formula and just totally improve it, because that would be just a better game. Like that's what they need to do. That's it. Like it's there. It was janky, and they got it right, but like not all the way right. But they can do it again in a sequel, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Awesome.
And the only other thing I have to say is the Bitterback Island DLC. I hate when companies make DLCs where it's like, you know what, we're just gonna add like a ton of bosses, and it's just gonna be hard. I really like Strangers of Paradise did that with all their DLC, the Final Fantasy Origin game. And I was just like, what the fuck? I'm like, why? Like, I understand like bosses should be a little difficult,
of course,
but like every DLC getting harder and harder and harder, like it just kind of makes the min-maxing of it like more difficult. I'm like, this is silly. I didn't really like the DLC much. I had to do a lot of grinding, Trio, a lot of grinding.
Yeah,
and I got too fun. And I was kind of worried. I'm like, oh shit, am I gonna be able to make this? But I did it. I got through it. We're here.
I'm happy to hear it, Gooch.
Baldur's Gate 3, we did a review, and I'm still playing through Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Only thing I have to say, the first 10 hours were not sitting well with me.
Has it improved?
Yes.
Okay.
But like because
I've been hearing relatively good things.
The open world is stereotypical as it can get, which kind of sucks.
And that the way of like there's just explorable points and a bunch of question marks everywhere.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And then that was like, I'm like, there was an opportunity to kind of do something different here, and we just totally didn't do that.
Sure. And I guess, but like, how do you do how do you make that better?
That's a good question.
Because like,
I don't know,
beyond like beyond doing what Dragon's Dogma seems to be doing with just like, you don't get shit, which I appreciate to a degree. And, you know, I think Elden Ring did a good job with that in the way of like, you figure it out and explore and things will come as they do. But I don't know if that works for every single game, but I feel like you can make it better. One of my favorite examples of like an amazing open world, I think, that is like Ubisoft-ish, but they know where to fucking cap it, is Ghost of Tsushima. I think that open world is one of my absolute favorites. There's some question marks to explore, but I don't feel like I'm getting fucking shotgunned every 5 seconds with like a different question mark from every corner. Yeah, I'd be curious.
There's not a lot in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, there's not a lot of like question marky stuff, but like there's there's like viewpoints and like like it's not as bad as like probably like an Odyssey or something like that.
Yeah.
But it like you can see like that's where they kind of took their inspiration from. Apparently, their open world design was from The Witcher, but it feels. Witcher's open world, like I think, like just kind of passes the mark of like, okay, I'll give you that, I'll give it to you.
Sure, I think it is very much samey.
Yeah,
in the way.
But for some reason,
I think that like system is used so much because it works well. But I think once you start,
sick of it.
We're all sick of it. But I also think it's the way you alter it, and kind of add your own spice to it that really kind of makes the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. The pacing's a bit weird because of the open world stuff, because it kind of like railroads you to like, okay, like you kind of feel like you want to do all the one region before you move on. And there's a ton of mini games, which again also kind of fuck with pacing. And it's like, do I love all these mini games? It's a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to talking about it, but we'll do that on another time.
I'm thinking about playing the original
7.
Yeah. Because if I want to play, like because I've been thinking about really trying to give the actual remakes a go, but I feel like in order to do that, I would have to play the original. It would make me feel better, kind of like how I'm feeling with Metal Gear Solid 3. It's because I really feel like that's kind of big.
I like this.
I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like on my number one list of things to do, but I think it would be.
And I think that's a fair game.
Yeah.
I'll like find you a guide.
Yeah.
That's a fine game. I think where like a guide would be fine. It can kind of get a little difficult.
Yeah.
But I would love to
how
see
old
you
is that game again?
97.
Okay, so it is that old. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's older than like it's 3D polygons.
You know, it's so funny. I did not realize it was that old. I don't know why I assumed it was like 2000s.
It's funny. Tomb Raider and that was 96, and Metal Gear Solid 1, which is 98, looks so much better than it. It's the first polygon 3D game that Square ever did. Like the characters just look janky as fuck. It's endearing though. It has a charm to it. And it's a good game.
Yeah.
I think if you use the guide, you'll be fine. But I think going
with a guide,
Yeah, you're gonna get lost at some
and
point.
I'd get frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think going in with a guide would be fine. It's not like super difficult, and I think if you're using a guide, if it's setting you on the path you need to go on for success, you won't have any issues.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, the console,
Maybe one day.
it's
maybe
on
one day
it's
this
on
year.
PC. Not that I recommend that port, but it's on PS5 and Xbox.
I was gonna say, is there a port you would recommend?
Play it on PlayStation. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say play it where it was made.
All right, cool.
With a controller. I feel like
Makes
the
sense,
PC
yeah.
version is just it's weird.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
so
if I
old.
did buy it on PC, I'd plug in my controller if it supported it.
Yeah,
but that would be
it
the
does.
thing. Yeah,
I think it does, but it's just a little weird. I was gonna say one more thing. I think I'm gonna replay Final Fantasy VII again when the last remake part comes out. I think I'm gonna play it on Xbox and
There's
re-platinum
another
it.
part coming out.
Yeah, there's one more.
Why did I think it was only 2 parts?
No, there's one more.
Okay,
so
so
you got
it was,
time.
but it was
You got
always 3 from the beginning.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Why
I don't think they
assumed
said it
3.
was 3 from the beginning, but they said it was 3 and they haven't
I
changed.
see,
It's
see.
definitely
Okay,
3.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
but you got time.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
And then that means those 2 will only get cheaper as time goes on. Too,
yeah,
so.
and 7 plays great. The remake plays great on the PS5.
Yeah.
Rebirth not so much.
Interesting.
Its performance mode ain't good. It doesn't look great.
Is it not on Xbox, right?
No, it's only PlayStation.
That's what I thought.
But it comes to PC. So again, you could play everything on PC if you wanted, or play everything on PlayStation.
It's true. All right. Interesting.
All right,
What was the time, Gooch?
it's time. All right, we are headphoned up. We have
we're locked in.
the if you're watching, the stream's a little different. This will probably be best to watch.
For sure. This part, I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of.
You could probably do both, but
Definitely.
like watching is probably the more optimal experience. We have the 2-screen situation going up or
You
going
get to
on.
see a young trio and Gooch in front of you.
Yeah, it was funny because we did like a test recording, and it was just funny to like see this side by side. So again, what this is we did Amnesia: The Dark Descent, came out on PC. I think it probably 2011 or
I
2010.
want to say that. Yeah.
And there were a lot of custom maps that came out for this game. So me and Trio, I decided, hey, I want to play one of these custom maps. Why not do it for a Halloween special for the channel?
2010.
2010. Okay, so yeah, we played it like probably like a year. The
Yeah.
custom map's like a year later, and the custom map is called Cannibalism. And if I remember correctly, this was like one of the more popular custom maps. I know like PewDiePie and Markiplier were all.
Really?
This is how PewDiePie got famous. This game.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of like the Let's Player scene. Like all those bigger Let's Players were kind of like. Coming on, playing Amnesia, getting scared. Like, that was the beginning of this kind of content. That's why I was doing things like this.
And I feel like even just horror. I know they did Penumbra before this, of course, but
Yeah.
like this seemed to really kind of launch like survival horror
Yeah.
into the stratosphere. Cool. I mean, aside from, of course, you had like Resident Evil and stuff before that, but just a different kind of beast. All right, man, I'm excited.
Okay.
Let's get into it here.
Before we go,
I'm excited to
I
cringe.
just want to make sure we are unmuted.
Gooch, I think for the first time in my entire life, I feel a little chilly down here.
It's fucking cold,
Yeah,
dude.
no, I'm like surprised. It's weird. It's wild.
Can you?
We are recording. If that's
No, we're good. We're not muted. We're good. We're good.
yeah,
I
'cause
might
you can
check
see my.
while we're doing this. Well, you can see like there's something else that's muted down there, and I was like, oh god, again, we're not doing this live, so it's harder to monitor.
to just watch the screen and
All right,
here we go. First DNN reaction content.
here we go.
Hey guys, this is Ragucci25 and this is my friend Chris Trio, and today we're going to be doing the Halloween special.
Still doing the
Amnesia
intros,
custom
nothing's
map,
changed.
Cannibalism. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 videos
Dude,
for each week.
it is just
I'm going to
so
play this
funny.
time, then Trio's going to play, and then I'm going to play.
They're
He's
not
gonna play.
quite there yet. It's
And-
a little
Yeah, it
bit
is
like
weird.
it's-
I sound like absolutely unenthused by
You
everything.
I've
sound
not-
very much like you're
I
just
have not
trying to
surely
get it
forgotten it all. I still remember a lot of
Like,
things.
listen to me, like
childhood,
talk.
about,
Like I just sound like
there are some
absolutely
things
like
that
I
I
just
can
don't.
recall.
Like it's funny because like I don't.
Covered
I definitely
by
wasn't like that, but I just sound
Of course
like I
not.
don't
No, I
give
mean,
This should be fun.
this should be fun.
Jesus
Ew.
Christ. What do we got?
That's
Some
the-
guy just got his head cut off or something.
I'm not sure.
You even got the Call of Duty Black Ops poster.
I still
behind
have
you.
that poster. And you know what's funny? That shirt I'm wearing, I still wear that thermal. I like on this pocket, like
That's
that, like
so
it's
funny.
just
I
a
think
white
I remember
thermal.
it. Yeah, the white
Do
thermal.
you still have that? I think it's a.
I don't know.
What's
It looks
that
like a
F
polo.
symbol?
I don't know if is it an F? Is it a Fila shirt?
Yeah, I think it's a
Fila shirt. I do not have that Fila shirt
Okay,
anymore.
basically, okay.
Surprised.
I'm looking at the clock for time.
Again, just
Loading.
how
Loading,
young we
loading,
look. Like I
loading.
get it's 12 years ago now, but it's weird, man.
Didn't even have like the forethought to like cut something like this.
No,
out.
like it's like maybe we're just gonna sit here in it while it's loading.
Not
Okay.
say anything.
Not
yeah.
say a word.
Yeah.
We're just okay. We gotta let's go.
It's kind of funny. I remember I recorded this. I recorded it like on a
I
camera
think it's going.
and like the gameplay separate, and I like lined them up.
There it is.
Oh, here we go. Look at that lag.
Okay.
This looks fun.
You don't
I'm just
really
like scared to do anything.
scared to do anything. Anyways,
Cousin
sorry.
Williams arrived today. His
It's
visit
funny,
was
like
very
you
unexpected,
don't really see
but
custom
I've
maps
always
like this for
liked
games
William. As we were boys,
that
we
often.
talked.
It's only like a few series.
Well, I
that-
feel like with
We
like
did
a,
some stuff.
it just works so well with an Amnesia
And
type
then
game.
that's
I don't know if they've
started
done.
liking penis.
I feel like they've released tools for the newer stuff. I wonder if there's any like modded maps for like even the bunker or something like that. I'd be kind
Yeah.
of surprised if there wasn't.
I wonder what their tool. I wonder what engine they're on. I mean, I wonder what
think
this
it's
is
the-
on.
I think it's their own
Why would a
engine.
piece of metal be on
I want-
it? Does it look like a map?
Okay, let's see.
You sound hilarious. You're like, you sound like a much more like
No.
I sound like much more of an asshole.
Yeah,
at this
no.
age. You don't sound much more of an asshole.
I just sound like a
Timber.
younger version of me.
Tinder?
Almost.
Yeah,
It's weird.
that's what I meant.
So let's see what game.
Oh,
What
Jesus.
designers, touch group. So the HPL engine.
Ah,
Okay, so that's Frictional's in-house engine,
which way?
That makes
which makes
I
sense.
say right.
Yeah, same.
It was
Yeah,
first
left.
used for the Penumbra series.
Literally,
left?
you say.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I missed it, no.
Yeah, I said which way. I think you said left, or like you said right, and I just go left.
Ooh.
Just fuck you.
What?
Oh god.
Isn't there a dead
just
cat in this
creepy.
room? I don't know why I remember that.
I don't. It's funny. I don't remember a fucking thing about this game, or at least these.
This-
Not the, yeah, these
Yeah.
like
Get out
maps.
of my way.
I actually played Amnesia.
Is that an arm?
It's a
It's a
Very
shoe
recently.
arm.
It was last year. During
I think I
my-
remember
A
Amnesia,
room.
like mostly.
Yeah.
That's definitely like added in songs.
Yeah. for
Stop.
sure.
Just don't. Just
Just
don't.
don't. Just don't. Stop.
Just oh, the piano.
Play with you.
The rats.
There's no-
Wow, this is making me want to play some bunker.
What'd you say?
This is making me want to play some bunker. Maybe we
Is that
should
where
do.
you came
We should recreate this exact stream with Amnesia the Bunker over each other's
We
shoulders.
could probably
Yeah,
same
there's
them.
two
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
You sitting behind
Yeah.
me. Yeah. I mean, it was funny. Like, this is the kind of content.
This is what
that-
people did. No,
This is
yeah.
what people did.
We were trying to start our YouTube careers early.
There's something really like nostalgic
Doing it.
about it, because Dagan Moriarty was talking about this. Like,
Ooh, we got a nice little fireplace.
content people make is so produced now. It's
Oh,
like
for
it's
sure.
never
Not
shit.
touching
Like,
it.
look at this. This is so like amateur hour.
This is like too dark.
For sure. And it's funny because I think you can still find that in certain corners, but I mean, even still, like, look at us. We're pretty produced. For
Yeah.
how little, yeah, like
does
for
give
Yeah,
off,
it is
how
true.
little we do. Yeah.
Like,
Like, I mean, look at this.
it gives
We are
off
seducing and
light.
producing, as they
That's
say.
creepy.
I think I remember there's like a body that falls out
No,
of
I'm
it.
shutting the door.
It's,
Out of a-
again, I
out
don't
of a
remember.
I don't
Fan?
shut doors much. Like
I-
behind me.
I always do. I get too freaked out.
I get too freaked out.
I got too freaked out.
Now read this. I are not here anymore
Iron.
because I are leave to my home country. Mother and
Like,
father
what?
need me help.
Like, why did I
I-
find that funny?
Acid
Like, I don't even think I'd find that funny
chocolate
now.
cake in the
It's very
cabin.
childlike humor. That's
Sounds
how
like
we are.
cabinet.
I'd still
You
probably find that
hope
pretty
it
funny.
not melt.
It's cringy
So, like, a
to that
fireplace?
fact that I found that funny.
Some weird.
Like I was like embarrassed listening to me say that.
I haven't been embarrassed so far yet. We'll see when it gets to my turn.
I feel like
Because we swap every episode, right? It's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So you do the next one, and then I do the third one.
Yeah,
That's just weird.
That's just
I don't
weird.
even have a lamp.
You got a little bit of like, a little bit more
gotta
Delco
do
or
this.
something in your accent in this. I
You
don't know
think?
what it is. Yeah.
A little more uncertainty in that voice.
No, I don't know what it is. It's just like you got that little bit of yeah.
You think? I'm gonna
Tiny bit.
listen. I kind of. That's funny. That's interesting.
Where did he say he put it?
Because I think I might have it a little bit
Whoa.
too, honestly, even still.
He said he hopes it not melts on
Why did it get really dark?
Because you were in the light, I'm pretty sure. Like, you didn't need to give off light.
What the
You
hell?
got the key, I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to do something
Hey,
with a key.
trying to do something here.
Oh.
Am I really about to put that key in the
Crazy.
fire?
I think you just picked up the key.
How the fuck?
Now I'm wondering.
Came from that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to hint for that Delco accent because I definitely don't have one. Like now. I listen to other people talk recently, like I do every day.
That's-
But someone from around here, and it's like, yeah, I just don't have that Delco accent at all.
I'm sorry, I was reading on their engine. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. I just don't have that Delco accent at all.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's certain words where I feel like it really kind of creeps out, especially for me. And I don't know, maybe I have a very
Yeah,
thick Delco accent.
We both
People
just
would have
sound
to-
very uncertain. of each
Yeah.
other. I mean, I guess that's how you sound in high school, you know?
So this is interesting. I just googled this because I was curious. So I googled like, are there any custom levels for Amnesia the Bunker? They said this guy said on Reddit, as a former modder for the Dark Descent, they used
See,
to
I
have these
feel
HPL
like
tools
the key-
out for people, but
trying
they
to
became
help.
more difficult since Soma was created. So it's not as easy,
Good
I
idea,
guess, for
inventory
everyone
on
to
it.
use them and kind of create
That
new
makes
custom
sense.
maps.
I mean, they don't do that,
They
like,
work.
you know, I guess you can do it with Unreal.
Yeah.
Bethesda does it with the GEC,
Yeah.
the creation engine.
Dude, I would love to see them, like...
Oh my shit!
We knocked over the camera.
We just threw the whole fucking camera.
You should all fucking
Oh my god!
I love how, like, that startled me. Like, I wasn't ready. I said it was going to happen,
And you
and
said
it
it.
still got me.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. Today I gave vaccine to all the dogs and I was
We're, like, giggling like school kids.
Oh my god.
Which, I mean,
That said something about a key. Let me read that again.
just skipping over notes, don't
Of
care.
course, who gives a shit?
So unlike me. A Goochism is that you have to read
Just read every
everything.
single note.
Of course, the
Everything.
man suspected me, but I'm not the only one to blame, even though I stole a spare key to his room.
So that might
So
be
it's
in here.
probably in here.
Oh no, it's probably in there.
Alright, we're back.
Part 2,
Don't
baby.
touch that
There
bag.
we
It's
go.
glitched, and we got fucked up.
Look at that. That was a-
Don't touch
that
that. That's where the Delco. Don't touch
Not
that
that
bag
bag.
because it was all fucked up.
that was a. You know, I just have this on a playlist, so it switched over.
Yeah,
I know.
that was good. Worked very well.
Yeah, no, that was a good
Dude,
transition.
it's funny. I don't use cues nearly as much as I should on on YouTube.
Cues.
You can like queue up a list
I
like
don't.
of.
I never use playlists like this. It was just like, oh, this works for what we're doing.
Sounded like the,
You're a much
The
faster
water
player than I
monster.
am.
It's true.
remember that? Yo, yeah. It sounded exactly
Oh
like
yeah. It's like I want to hear. You're a lot slower than I am.
Well, now I'm a bit slower.
Camping that way, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
said you were fast.
Say you just burped. No.
We're both just losing our minds. Like,
I'm curious if Gigi or Gino make an appearance in this. Are they
Or not.
back there? No, I don't see them.
This is I try to use a key.
Like in the back of the video. Like they're.
right? Yeah, you think one might pop up somewhere?
Yeah.
Don't touch a bag. Don't do it.
Don't touch it, bad.
Don't do it. Picked up a
Tinder.
$10.
It's kind of like a lantern. Like you're just gonna be a
I
douchebag.
think I just heard one. Yeah.
You call it a douchebag.
Check the.
I think the cringiest part about this so far was the intro.
Check the.
Sure.
molten lava
creators.
rock.
Hey, let's just pick up this burning hot coal and throw it on the bed.
It is funny because we just have no idea how to like. This is
Talk.
just how streaming. Well, just like you know.
Right,
you're
we're just like,
we're just playing.
you can tell we don't do this for a living.
Yeah.
And we can tell we're in high school. We just don't know what to
A little
say.
bit more light. I'm getting scared.
Yep, scared.
Alright, try going.
Try going.
Why do I sound? I sound like this.
Oh.
Why do I sound like that? I didn't sound like that.
the fuck is?
Here, try that door. I think it was locked. Try it.
I'm hearing the
Try one,
Delco.
please.
Yeah,
a
what is going
lot.
on? What
That's
happened to
so
me?
funny, man.
I don't remember. I've never had anyone say that, or like listening to me back.
yeah.
It's just like, yeah, no, it's there.
What are you doing?
When did I become like
Doing a can through?
proper? You know?
Yeah, I wonder where.
Try
I don't
try the
think,
keys.
but I don't think they're locked though, because when did say they were locked?
Yup, there you go.
You got it, Trio.
I just scared myself.
I didn't see it. That's why I didn't get scared. That Where?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Crafty.
I put my hands in my eyes.
I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, is that a monster? What is
I
that?
look like a total pussy.
I think it's just speaking of said,
No,
since I said pussy, I was like,
Serving booze.
I wonder if I say anything outrageous. I mean,
Just something insane.
yeah, something well, I'll probably
Something
be
very
about.
inappropriate.
Yeah. It was a different time.
It was.
I mean, you're not gonna hear
I mean, it
it.
was post 9/11, but you know,
Definitely
still
post
different world.
9/11. 10
For me,
years
I'd be like,
removed.
wild stuff.
Is there like an
Ooh,
actual
wow.
monster in
It
this?
sounds like
Because
there
this
is.
is how we do it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm sure
Dude, the
there
monsters
is.
in this game are so scary.
Yeah,
The
they're-
Gather, right? And the Brute.
The Gather is definitely the creepiest looking one. That's like with
Gross.
the one that's like it's like
It
mouth
was
is
like a
pinned open.
torso, a leg, and like.
Let's see what we got here. Got a nice little torso.
Yes.
You can take that back.
Yeah, no. So get it up there.
Oh, God.
Let's just leave. How about that?
Let's just get out of here.
Because I kind of really don't want to go back out this door. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like the way we're talking is so childish. Like I don't think
Of
I would
course.
ever.
Well, it's just our you know, it's just how we spoke.
yeah, no, it's fun. It's just
It's
funny.
hilarious.
It's just funny, especially when you're listening to yourself. Like it just sounds like ridiculous.
Whoa. That really illuminated it.
We haven't used the lantern once.
Yeah, I feel like I'm afraid.
Oh no, I think we just got like a little bit of oil.
We
Wow,
literally
this is
just
strong.
got it. Like we just picked it up in that room.
Yeah.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay.
And that's the
That
way the
makes
cookie
sense.
crumbles.
Yeah, go that way. We can go that way. Put your light on. I'm scared.
I just sound. I mean, I still mumble. I probably still talk like that. Like, let's be honest. I
don't
mumble
think
a
so.
lot.
Yeah, maybe you know that one locked door we were at last time. This
Don't-
was the key to staircase.
Yeah, right.
I'm just.
Yeah.
I, like,
Delco Gooch, man. I love it.
I just mumble talk all the time.
You know,
Well,
I
Ah.
still do it. I'm like, damn. I really just like slammed those words
Try
together.
both. Nope.
Nope.
Did you have it? Yeah. Did you
He's
play
not
this
out.
at this point? Do you know?
I think I had because I think I played it over your house. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
we just play. Yeah.
But may the power of Christ compel you.
Okay, try that one door I was talking about.
Where is it?
Down the hall. No, back. That way, and then that one. Try the stair.
Was I right? Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. I think it was the new one.
Ooh.
There you
Money.
go.
Gooch is always right. I'll talk myself in the
Upstairs.
third person.
I think it was tinderbox before.
There's a scare coming up. Has to be.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Good
it.
call, Gooch.
Oh yeah, another good call. Look at that. Tinderbox, baby.
Close the door.
TV.
Damn, I hate the damn bugs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, now. Who am I?
This whole react is just going to be
Really
us
just
just
went all out
talking
the
about our
bottom
voices because we can't get over it. I mean,
Right.
it is wild, like, because I don't know what we're.
You don't look that. I mean, you don't look that different.
I
You
actually
look
don't.
younger, but like
Yeah.
I look different.
For sure.
I think
Yeah, check
I
out
don't know
the
why. Like I look.
I think both
I
of
look
our
much older than you.
I think both of our faces are definitely
Yep.
thinner for
Yours is
sure
LA.
in this.
God damn it.
But also,
Oh,
I think the
no.
biggest difference for me, obviously, is the beard.
I mean, I don't have a beard.
No, you don't. But like, I don't know why. I just didn't have one. So
I
when did you
you,
start
not the
growing a
easy
beard?
part.
In like college.
Okay. Why did I feel like it was earlier than that? Was it?
I don't know.
Oh! No!
I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm just sitting in the corner. Maybe we can wait.
Just do it. Just do it.
God, I'm trying
Just
to tell
run.
if that's genuine or
Run,
not.
move
You know,
it
if
out,
I'm like
because I don't-
genuinely scared.
I think you are.
I don't know.
I think I am.
I don't
too.
remember it being that scared.
Yeah.
Like what's
Sing a
that?
song.
Sing a song.
Chicken
You're
butt,
losing
chicken
it, pal.
butt, chicken
I'm
butt,
just feeling
chicken
like
butt,
the
chicken
empty
butt,
void
chicken
of
butt,
like
put the
its
lemon on
sound is
chicken
really what
butt.
I'm doing. I hate not
What you gonna do
talking.
with all that junk?
All that junk inside that trunk. I'm gonna get you drunk. Get you drunk.
If that wasn't on my bingo card that we would sing. So,
yeah,
yeah,
easy
it's
My
part.
on
lady
this.
humps.
Yeah.
I wanna run. It's scary.
Katy Perry is hot.
She is very hot.
Boobs. Boobs.
Well, I'm
Scary
filling
I
space.
think, dude, I think you're actually afraid. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. I'm just feeling. It's just freaking me out, so I have to talk. I kind of get that though, because I don't like
Creators just did
silence.
this to scare us. I hope
Good
the
thing
creators just did
we
this to
talk on
scare
this
us.
Yes,
podcast.
yeah.
I don't have to worry about it being.
Sing a song. Sing a song. Sing a song. Sing a song.
What is this?
I don't remember
Think of a song
like
right
they
now.
do.
I can't think of anything. The best. The best.
Cause we're the best around. No one's ever to keep us down. Cause we're the best around. You know one's ever to keep us down. Cause we're the best. I don't want to go in there.
The Karate Kid.
I'm just waiting for something.
Now you're just being annoying.
I'm sure there has to.
No.
I mean, there's
The
got to be a
noise.
monster, or else what's the point of
Large
these?
it's
Is that a mannequin or?
a mannequin.
Oh, that's
Oh my
creepy.
God.
though.
Put the
Oh,
lantern in the oil, or the oil in the lantern. Ah! Oh! Ah! Ah!
What am I freaking out about?
No.
Was it the noise?
I don't know.
Why am I so like free? Why? You're so much calmer.
Just do it.
know.
Just do it. Just do it.
I don't know what's going
Don't
on.
do that. I'm scared. Holy shit. That thing is looking right at you.
That is
I'm not
creepy.
going.
That is actually.
Put that lantern in the oil, or just put on the fucking lantern. Put the oil in the
I'm very
lantern.
demanding.
Dude, it's
Stereo,
wait,
sorry.
It's a fucking mannequin. It's creeping me.
It's not a mannequin. It moved. See, it was over there. Now it's there. That is,
Just put the fucking oil. I'm getting creeped out. Dude.
I'm losing
that
it.
is a thing, dude.
No, it's not. It's a
It
fucking-
moved. It was there.
Okay, just go. Just go.
We also sound really similar.
Yeah, we do.
Put the lantern on.
interesting.
I don't want to put the lantern on. Oh wait, maybe it didn't.
It is a fucking
This
mannequin.
is definitely
Get
creepy.
the put the oil on.
You're lucky. I'm just taking all
Just
the
leave it
cringe away
on.
from
Just
you.
leave it on.
God.
You got a potion. You got an oil thing. Just put
got a
it in.
potion.
Like I'm more like, is there actually anything there? Like, what am I getting so nervous
Oh, by
about?
the way, I used to walk on the woman's man.
No
No time to talk. Go, just do it. Music loud.
I think you're
big
making me
kick.
anxious. That's so bad.
Ah!
It's a mannequin.
I told you.
Thank the.
I told you.
Ah! Ah!
That was the
I
jump
hate you.
scare. That didn't get me
Damn
at
it.
all.
No, it didn't get me at all either.
Fuck you.
By the way, I'm just silently getting scared. Just like
There you go.
Yeah.
my mind just flipped shit.
Is that a statue with a penis?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yum.
Yup.
Do it.
I remember that in Amnesia.
See?
A lot
Little,
of
little
dicks.
mini,
Pick
mini
it up.
wieners.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's a book.
What the fuck's that stuff?
Is that like
It's a
a
dead rat.
Ah.
dead rat? Okay.
Interesting. Oh, some tinder boxes, Chris. Pick them up.
Oh, right
Tinder
there.
boxes. See, this
It's
noise
weird
is
to hear
getting
you call
annoying.
yourself Chris. I mean,
Sprint to the
Would it
back.
be weirder if I
I-
said trio?
yeah, that would probably be weird.
Tickle
too.
that, boys. Woo!
I mean, I call myself Gooch.
Oh, run. Just run. Just run.
Oh,
Just run.
you-
Just run. Just run.
Oh, it disappeared. Yeah, okay, there's a monster though. Did it disappear because of the lantern?
What
We
happened?
did it. We did it.
The scarier part was when you were
I don't
walking
know.
in the place. Like, you just ran past that thing. I don't even think it chased after
Maybe the
me.
video is fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
it
didn't
might
even chase
be.
after me.
That's it for part 2, guys. See you next week.
That's it for part 2, guys.
see you next week.
That scared the living bejeebers out of me.
To scare the living bejeebers out of me.
Yeah,
Is that
just,
what you
you know,
just said?
it's all in one night, but we're putting it in different, like, thingies.
But we're doing it in different thingies.
There's my dogs. Should we go back? Did you miss that?
No, I think I saw.
I missed it. The camera falls. I knew this was a part.
It's okay.
That's
it's
GG
okay.
and
It's
G.
okay.
It's not okay.
That's funny.
God damn it.
Where are they though? Out in the hall.
Ah! That was not cool, dude.
Not
Right
cool,
there. It
dude.
was right there.
Oh my god.
It's still there. What the? Didn't even fucking fit.
I don't remember this part at all.
You're
Hide
running
in
into the
lit
most-
corner.
Oh, did you hear me? I was like, yeah, hide in the most lit corner.
You just started the video.
We just did start the video.
That couldn't have been a better.
Oh my god. And the camera fucking fell over.
Like you
Oh, Jesus Christ. What was I going to say before we started earlier?
Watch out when you go up there.
Something about the talking.
Damn it, dude. I'm so.
I don't remember.
I'm so
But
I'm
yeah, I
glad
remember I
that I got
stopped
the
you.
other.
it was just like,
Can you hear Gino in the background?
Yeah,
Or
it
Gigi?
might be either one.
see that? That's too fucking Ah! That's too fucking annoying.
It sounds so genuine. I
I
sound
know, yeah,
absolutely
you sound
horrible.
terrified.
It's
Oh
too
my God.
fucking.
I don't like this.
It's like not much longer
Fuck this
either.
shit.
No.
Fuck her.
Is it the
Rick.
last one's 5 minutes?
Yeah.
That's always good.
No, my dog is just like, whoa.
Hey,
Did you see that?
no, what happened?
Check out.
I've listened to some of the Fallout stuff I've done, and like the commentary is like the same way. It's just so cringy, like the way I talk, and this is like, yeah,
Hey,
it's like-
man.
it just sounds like I don't care. I mean, like,
Yeah, no, I get what you
I don't
mean.
genuinely care. It's just funny to listen back. It's like, did I really sound like that?
Yeah.
Like I just didn't care.
Okay, Gigi, you don't have to do that.
Dude, I love the game
Oh,
in the
rip.
game.
Rip
Scared the
Gigi.
shit out of me.
Rip both, dog.
R.I.P.
My
and-
dog.
The line
R.I.P.
reading
in
the book.
peace.
No
Yeah.
big deal.
MBD.
She's probably sitting on my bed licking the shit out of it. If I
course
had to
he
be
is,
honest, that's what she
Couldn't be a
did.
small room. Had to be the main.
That piano was two spaces. That's pretty cool. What the hell is that?
Dude, close that door.
Dude,
That's cool.
close that door. That I was the king of closing doors in these games all the time. I'm like, close that fucking door.
I think I started to do that too.
Ooh,
Knife.
A knife.
A knife. A knife. That. You ever seen that video of that kid running with the knife? It's like, what you got there? And he's like, a knife.
Oh, right, and he runs off. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have seen that. That's funny. What do you got there, hun? A knife.
Look under those books.
Yeah, that's what she says. That's funny. Yeah, it's interesting that I feel like especially now with like Bunker,
Oh,
like
see,
imagine the
that's
fan
ridiculous.
content that could come out
Dude,
of these
I
tools
can only
for
imagine.
like
I don't want to
Dude, I
accessible.
would love to see like them do a remake of
Dark Descent.
Dark Descent.
That'd be cool.
But with like the same idea of like
do
the
you want me to
bunker
do
where
with the
everything
knife?
kind of resets every time you
Yeah,
play.
I'm
Like,
gonna-
you know, you keep the same story and stuff, but like,
I
you
wonder
know,
how they would have to like totally.
Oh, you'd have to
retool.
remake it completely, I think.
Yeah.
But like do it so like, you know, the jump scares aren't in the same spots every time and like, you know, there's a bit of like
Yeah, that
mix up.
that dynamic difficulty I think is good for replayability.
I agree.
for sure.
Like it's,
To a better humanity called it, but not a single word.
Is that
about
Gino or
I
Gigi?
can't tell. I think it's Gigi.
I
'cause
couldn't
she was
tell.
putting on
You,
the-
the pole of my mic is like right where you
Maybe
are.
it was on the other door that was locked.
Yeah, you can see the cameras fully, right?
Uh-huh.
Because like yeah.
Yeah, I see everything. It
Yeah.
actually works
I have to like
perfectly.
lean over to look at us a little
Oh, I forgot about that door. Thanks for telling me.
No problem.
Yup. Woo! Wow.
Close that door.
Close that door.
And have a nice day. Someone screamed. Crazy jawlings.
some hacksaws, and
Another knife.
a normal day in the life of Amnesia.
Yeah, really. Jesus.
Got the crucifixion.
Some Jesus.
Oh.
That was actually
That was pretty good. Yeah, that was
pretty good,
random.
Gooch.
Yeah. Good job,
Got
old
two
Gooch.
things today.
For young Gooch.
Injection at work.
What am I drinking? Probably like an iced tea.
Yeah, what's your beverage of choice, Gooch?
Probably an iced tea.
Against the odds, he spot on the village, but he accidentally. Wait, actually, he. The dog was. Listen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just like trying to read and just like. just like
That's the thing I know to do.
Get open the door.
No, remember that bookshelf?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty
Right
funny.
over there.
They got so many crosses.
That's so weird. They got
That's
this
so
creepy.
weird.
so weird, dude.
Why is there a
Like
cross in
eyes
this, dra-
and
in this
Oh my
drawer?
god.
Ugh.
Is that you or burped or was that me?
It sounded like it was right in the mic though. Just
Absolutely no manners.
Nah, I didn't run out.
someone put some time into this, man. I gotta say, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Body
I'm not touching it.
There's a lot of rats.
Yeah.
Dead piggy.
Piggy, yeah.
big carcass.
Sorry, pig. I think that this video ends here. I don't
Injection
know why I
number
remember that.
6, not working, cause pig to die instantly. 7, but better.
Almost
Take
died
that
instantly.
after
You really do sound super apathetic.
I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I do. You
Yeah.
sound fine.
Yeah.
I sound like I'm like ready. I'm like on the precipice of.
7 hours. 2 days after the pig's death, it still bleeds. The blood of the creature contains noble amounts of chemicals. Gunpowder.
Sounds like we should.
What the?
That must be the pig. Yeah. I think you gotta take the serum out of it.
Yep. That's a nice one. I was like, why did it just lock onto that? I'm gonna cut you, piggy.
It's so funny how you just like you don't talk like that anymore. Like it's such a childish way of like
Yeah.
commentating things. It's so funny.
Didn't I just do it?
Maybe it's because it's me as a child, but I'm sure streamers kind of thought.
Sure, sure.
This is funny.
Now
Okay.
use a knife.
Did I get that
You
pig
got
juice?
blood.
Yeah.
Oh, you already used it. You cut it, then got the blood from it.
You got it, Trio.
Yeah, look at me. I know my shit.
I'm not touching that broom.
Why are you so afraid of that broom, Gooch?
I mean, it's standing. It's pretty erect.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
pretty erect indeed. That is true.
Chicken fingers.
Now use the blood on the door.
Yeah.
Here's the blood
Yeah,
on the
it's
door
right.
trio. Good job.
Now just try it.
I don't
know,
fucking
just
know. I'm
try.
just trying. Just try. Like it was so genuine.
Yeah, just fucking try it.
Like you were like absolutely like
Yeah.
convinced.
Like, God damn it, give me a shot.
Just try it, man.
Touching the broom.
It's happening. Nothing happened.
The physics.
I know. I was
Yeah.
about to say that.
It's so funny.
It's so weird and floppy.
It's like Oblivion. It's just
Yeah.
it is actually just like that. It's
Uh-huh.
just hilarious the way things move. I think I get stuck here. I think it's coming back to me. I think we end it and we get stuck, and then when we bring it back, we like
We
figure
figured
it out.
yeah.
That's odd.
What?
That clock.
I wonder how long we're gonna get stuck with.
I'm really wasting that oil.
There's a lot of noise,
Nails.
There is.
like constantly,
Yeah, just like jangling. And
almost
stuff.
like too
Oh,
much.
that door, guys. Do you have a key for the door?
I think we went in there, right?
Oh, it's just a
I love how like we're like,
Yeah.
did we
I'm
go in
trying to
there?
figure it out now.
yeah.
Maybe you missed something downstairs.
I doubt.
I
Doesn't
doubt.
let us up here, you know. It wouldn't.
Yeah, you're
it
right.
wouldn't.
I doubt.
Plus they
I
won't
doubt,
keys.
Gooch.
I wouldn't keep using that lantern.
Yeah, I know. I'm just scared.
Yeah, I know. I'm just scared.
There's no
Wait,
candle.
no. So here, try and rip off that. Anything?
No.
Come on, man.
I mean, I didn't know.
With my hands?
Maybe try one of the walls.
You think I can rip those off?
Oh, interesting.
Press a button.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
wait,
we're supposed to
there.
do either.
Down there.
Where?
Turn. Go back. Left.
Oh.
This guy really just wanted you to be in the dark all the time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I'm not that I'm like barely following this, but it is kind of hard.
No, well, I mean, right now, especially just because we're just stuck right now.
I tested the injection number of reactants. Found hydrochloric acid in the reaction water mixed solid. Substance that was very high
I feel like we need to use the blood somehow to break that
explosion,
wooden door.
nitroglycerin immediate
Are you being
explosion
serious?
compound in
Yeah.
the reaction.
I don't know.
I
why.
think that's what you were saying earlier.
It's helpful.
Well, no,
Okay,
I mean on
looks
the
like time's a ticking,
the
so
wooden
gotta
door,
Stop the
'cause
video.
it's
See you
saying-
next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Your turn.
He did sound like
Hey,
such
guys,
like
welcome to
a,
part
I
4.
guess we'll do this. Thanks for watching.
Watching.
Goodbye.
Your turn.
For the last video,
Wow, I was even doing
we
that
are gonna
back
finish
then.
this
Gooch.
hopefully in this video. I don't know how
You
long
did
this
it,
is
or did
involved,
I?
but,
I did
let's
it.
do
Yeah.
this.
Dude, I'm still like. Let's check the memos.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to do.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
figure it out in
no.
like 5 seconds.
Sorry, I'm kind of not the biggest knower of this game. Playing over here.
You're not the bigger no.
Biggest
no,
knower of the
this
game, no.
Hydrogen no reaction. Water makes a solid. So, water.
Isn't there a bucket of water like right at the levels?
It's like that. We couldn't move it. Remember?
Is that it, dude?
We gotta put the blood
Did
in
you
the
figure
water.
it out?
Yeah, I think you
Mr.
just figured
Pushy.
it out.
Did you call me Mr. Pushy?
Mr. Pushy, yeah.
Ooh, that
figured
did
it out?
something. Yeah.
Yes. Whatever that is.
So that must have made like an explosion.
Yeah, now we
because
gotta put
it said
that
it
on the
would-
wooden.
it would make
So
it
put it on the
bar
door.
Did you remember that, or did
No,
you
I'm coming together with it now.
just
I
using
think you
my
have
brain?
to throw it on the other one.
Do it.
Oh. it
Run.
didn't.
Oh, fuck.
Oh
Fuck,
shit!
fuck.
Run!
Beautiful explosion.
Small. That
Nothing
sounded like a
happened.
freaking like hand grenade.
Didn't even look like it did anything.
Door. I was like door off its engines.
Yeah.
That would have been a good effect.
That's
Come
not
on.
getting later on? Oh no, I used that one.
They most also Bob asked me a very odd thing. Whatever words and things and stuff. The
Right.
injection, as I
Words and
predicted
things and
earlier, works
stuff.
such
Exactly.
as control becomes stronger and faster and better. Because
Better, faster, stronger.
at least temporarily.
All right, Kanye.
No, that's Highlander.
Died.
Oh, I'm better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of like the.
Not Homelander.
Just
Highlander.
stopped, man.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
It's from like an old
Well,
movie.
maybe
So
both.
you're here. So you're here.
Why is the aspect ratio so different now?
I know what you're going.
I filmed this on a 4:3 monitor.
I know it because.
But was this way the whole time?
Created you. At least what you currently are.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think it was, yeah.
Actually, I would like to experience what you're experiencing.
So this is just some guy who recorded some dialogue and put it in. I do think that's
Yeah.
funny.
You ever seen when they do it with like Oblivion mods or Skyrim mods? If it's not like professional voice actors, it
You can,
sounds
well, it's just because,
weird.
yeah, it's because they're obviously not recording it in like a sound booth.
Have you heard of the High Elves?
Dude, this is Aperture Science.
Sooner or
Back
later,
in this.
sooner or later, you're going to lose
Aperture
self-control.
Science. What am I talking about?
Break down the door. Break down the door.
What am I going on about, Trio?
You're a fucking crazy person.
There are no monsters and horrors in this match. But on the other hand,
ass.
you are the monster.
The monster. Not me.
We're all little monsters.
I think that's the end.
To Lady Gaga. To
What
Lady
the hell
Gaga.
did I just...
What the hell was that? Dung.
Maybe he was humping him.
Maybe.
Maybe he was humping him.
Maybe he just raped him.
No.
Oh, shit.
I need to get out of
Ate
here.
him, you bitch.
It wasn't me, it was the monster inside. Where the fuck? William is a traitor.
Despite all my rage, Trio, just a rat in a
Rat in a
cage.
cage.
Clearly.
For science. For science.
I ate all this.
I sound like such a
It's always
child.
good.
Well, that's why it's called cannibalism. So, get to the entrance. I like this music. It's like, you have won. So the only door left to check is that one downstairs, right?
Yeah, we never had a key for it.
Yeah, so that must be it.
I'm surprised there's like not a lot of the monster. It's like one part.
It is interesting. I
The
wonder if
music's
it'll
like,
pop up.
yeah, you did it. Thanks.
Yeah, you just killed your brother.
Oh, wait a minute. Cousin, I think it was.
Cousin. I think it was a cousin or something.
And that is it. I think.
Not a lot of monsters.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
It's actually like the map was not as good as
as
that was
yeah.
it.
Cool. We didn't have... Nice. 4 parts.
That was creepy as shit.
That wasn't that bad, though. It wasn't that long. I wonder...
It wasn't that long, but
Oh,
the thing
yeah, I
is,
actually
was
want to
like,
hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
the parts that scares you really scared you. You know?
Yeah.
This is like
Why
our
did the
first hot
guy-
take.
You put like his like tag.
Level things.
And his
He
music's
played it
hella
on the
loud.
piano. That's pretty cool. He did it.
Leon
himself.
Kennedy?
I guess he recorded the guys too.
That must have. It doesn't seem like it would take that long because it wasn't that big. Like I think there are other maps that are like.
That are
huge.
like, yeah, huge.
It's so like
And thank you.
it's so like
Thank you, sir.
cute.
Thank you, audience. Thank you.
I almost pissed my pants several times. So,
Because of you. You guys are assholes.
you're welcome.
Assholes. Just complete
Look at my
dicks.
hair.
I gotta go change my pants again.
No, you don't.
What about it?
You're gonna say
It's just like look at it's just such a
Okay.
it's a sophomore cut. It's just like a
That's
weird
it.
like bowl
Thanks for
cut
watching,
in the front.
guys. Please like this
Ah,
video if you
Look at
enjoyed
it. It's not even
Check out, I have Amnesia Justine and Amnesia Dark Descent. I also have another Staying Alive video. That's another custom map.
I remember that.
Yep.
That was gross.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. Thanks for watching.
It couldn't have been a better way to end it. Anyways, see you guys.
Just burp in the mic. Oh my
That
god.
couldn't have finished any better. Oh my god, that was.
Oh my god.
Well, Gooch, I'm not gonna lie, that was a fun little trip down memory lane. It was
That
something
was-
I never would have watched in a million years unless we did that. So
No. Oh, there's so much more of me. There's so much of me.
amazing.
Like my Fallout New Vegas stuff is crazy.
You had a lot of it.
I did an entire like let's play of the whole game, like all the
shit.
DLC and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I did a lot of let's.
I know you
playing.
were on that. Yeah, I just didn't realize you did that much. Damn. Well,
I'm glad these are here though. Like,
yeah,
I,
there's
like
still.
I used to make a bunch of videos as a kid with like my friends and stuff, and unfortunately I deleted it all. In hindsight, that was like, nah,
What did I do?
dude.
Yeah, it's like, what was
yeah,
I
like, and they
thinking?
were on like YouTube. Okay, let's before
Switch
we,
over?
Yeah, we'll switch over and then we can talk and then we'll jump into the Q&A.
And we're back.
That was interesting.
That was.
I was much more cringier than I thought I was gonna be.
I was less cringy than I thought I was
You
going to be.
were.
So
You were
that's
much
nice.
more reserved than me.
I appreciated your you're not overacting, your genuine acting of just like.
I don't know if it was genuine. I don't know.
think you don't want to think it's genuine, but it was.
That's
Fair
probably
point.
it.
No, dude, that was cool. It's definitely interesting to go down something that, like I said, down memory lane. Talk about something that old. One of the, I think the first piece of content we've ever done, right? Together.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I
Yeah. I wonder what inspired that. Like, do you remember where you were just like, it's just because we were both like, because I really liked the game, and you were like,
I
it'd be cool to
don't
bring
I,
someone
I
else
don't
in.
know.
Yeah.
I kind of did videos on like whatever I could.
Right.
Like there's like some Gears like 3 multiplayer footage. Like I was in the beta and I did like a Gears 3 like beta montage, like something like Halo.
Nice.
Remember like a Halo like 3? They would do, people make like kill montage and
Right.
stuff and things like that. Like that's what I was like trying to do. I did all sorts of shit. I'm curious. I think one of the last things I did I might have mentioned this when we did our Halo 3 re-3, but I did a recapping Halo Combat Evolved. So like I was like replaying it, but obviously I had played Halo
Right.
1. I think it was like one of the last series I did. I know I was doing like a Skyrim playthrough that I never finished. But yeah, I think once I got to college, I stopped with the Let's Plays.
Right.
Because all the stuff, all the content I did was all at that house on Chelsea. I never did anything here. So that was like the summer of my senior year.
The summer of 69.
Yes, the summer of 69. Right. So I probably only did content on YouTube, like the Let's Play stuff, until like 2013, maybe stopped in 2012. Because I like had to dig back through some pages for this. This is all private on my YouTube account. I think once we started DNN, I unprivated all this stuff.
Well, so is DNN on what used to be your private account?
It used to be on this account, Ragucci 25.
Right. So right, exactly. But then we made the actual DNN one.
Yeah. I don't know why I think about that sometimes. I'm like, why did we start the channel on mine?
That would definitely have been in your ballpark in the decision on that of like, yeah.
I think it was because like switching to YouTube channels was a little more
bit of a headache, yeah.
difficult.
Interesting.
But anyway, that was fun.
That was.
Cringy, but fun.
Not nearly as honestly. That was next to nothing compared to what we. What could have
I'm
been
curious
said.
what you guys thought of that. Let us know. Be sure to leave us some comments.
First DNN Reacts,
obviously,
yeah.
First and probably maybe only reacts.
Yeah.
You know, interesting special episode.
Absolutely.
This whole recording has been weird.
It's been different because we've genuinely never done anything like this.
The last time we set up the screen was when we did our recording with Dustin.
Right.
So, but I like as soon as you started, I'm like, this feels like really different.
Well, it's just because we have more shit out, especially like it's a different recording for sure. You feel it.
So let's jump into it. The DNN 100th episode special. Ask me anything. Everyone who submitted questions, thank you very much. We
got 15 good ones. We appreciate you all writing in. All you fans out there are humbled friends.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
You did the forms. You posted on the in our comment section. We found that. Like I was saying to you, I'm like, I wonder if the forums is the best way to do it. I wonder if there's like a better way.
Well,
to do
I mean,
Q&A.
I think that is one of the better ways. I think giving people the option to like comment on the post and stuff like that, and even just throw them in Discord is always good, which we did. But I think that's just the most direct and easy way to do it for sure.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you just give everyone a link and they have
it.
All right, let's get into it. Number one, first question: who's been your favorite guest?
Making us choose favorites right out the get go. Who would you have? Well, I have one immediately in my mind.
Go for it.
One of my favorites is absolutely Luke Kenny.
Kenny.
Luke is.
Let's
shout
go.
out to Luke. He gave us the patented Luke Kenny rating system. He's just a fun. Not to say that everyone isn't a fun.
Everyone
time when
else
they're on here. Just lower bar. No, I'm kidding. Luke's just always a fun time when he's on, especially when we're talking about movies and stuff like that, which we usually do with him. I always love it. It's always a blast when he's on.
Yeah, I think Luke adds. Don't get me wrong. I don't really think we're funny.
Sure.
Are we funny,
fair enough. No,
I don't think I'm funny.
I mean, answer in the comments. Are we funny? I don't know.
I think what makes me funny is me laughing at myself.
Sure.
I think I crack myself up
more than
anything else. You know, if I could not laugh at myself, I would probably die. But
right.
I don't find myself that funny. I don't think like Luke brings a comedic element to our duo that I just think really works. Like I've never met anyone like, regardless
and
of the
he knows
podcast.
his movies very well too, which I love.
He fills a comedic gap that we don't have and a movie gap that we don't have. It's a shame he's not going to be joining us on the DNN.
Of course not.
He's on strike.
He is on strike this year.
Strike.
We were going to announce that with the podcast, but yeah, he is still on strike.
Yeah.
We're doing our best to
my
get those
favorite guest. Now, I actually was thinking about this. Luke was definitely up there, but if I have to go real, it was between two.
Well, I guess so. I'd have a runner-up just in the fact of like how cool it was to have him on.
Dustin?
Yes,
yeah,
obviously.
Dustin
like,
was my
pick.
Dustin Furman of Sacred Symbols.
That's the recurring guest I would put as Luke because he's been on a few times. But yeah, it's like someone we managed to get.
Right, like a
the fact that we
guest.
managed, that you even contacted Dustin and got him on here was so cool.
Yeah, I think after Dustin, Jenny Plant would be
that was really cool too, man.
I want to do more like voice actor people in games interviews. It's just kind of like it. I don't want it to be random. Like I want it to like line up with something.
Sure.
Like that kind of makes sense. Like if something just came out and we got like a voice actor or somebody for that game, like it's just more timely.
No, and it's also about just the people, some person being nice enough to just accept a random little podcast invitation on, and interviewing. You did a great job with Jenny. I got to give you that.
and
interviewing
I'm
someone
still friends
is
with her.
and that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's super
we talk
cool.
a lot, and I'm just always like I'm waiting for Jenny to actually like
kind of do something new.
New game thing. She's done like a ton of stuff. She was actually a singer in the Little Mermaid, like the live action.
Right.
Yeah, she was like one of the like background singers for that, and she had a kid and she beat cancer, so she's been through a lot since the last time we were on. So I'm just like, and she worked on Ghost of Tsushima too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we can always. I never think about it. Just
but
like,
I want to get Jenny back on.
Planting those seeds, especially with anyone. If we just, some people will randomly accept. Yeah. And I mean, dude, the fact that we did get Dustin on was very cool. I can't thank him enough for putting aside the time to do that.
And another thing with guests, we talk about this all the time. Sometimes it's like, all right, enough having guests. Let's just do me and Trio,
absolutely.
right? Like I just. Like sometimes it gets too much. Scheduling can kind of be annoying,
right?
But it also I want it to make sense. I want it to fit. I don't want to just like sometimes I think we were just having people on to like
to
fill the table.
To have.
And I mean,
guest.
sometimes I feel like that, but I'm like, no. Sometimes it's like we got to be confident in the fact that like me and Trio can sit down and have a conversation, which we totally can.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's just like
we don't need to force the guest. Not to force the guest in, but like if we can't find one and we're like, all right, well we need to find. It's like no, we don't need to do that.
We don't need to do that. Yeah.
Next up,
you want to read it?
Sure, why not? This one's funny. It's getting us to dunk on something. I like it. Which video game with universal acclaim, quotes or parentheses, 90 plus Metacritic or higher, do you think are not that good?
This was fucking hard.
So I feel like
I was like, you know what's funny? Of course, I immediately thought Thief.
Sure,
67 on Metacritic.
I was gonna say that's not
close.
like a 90. Yeah,
right.
That's,
you
think that's pretty apt? That's pretty aptly ranked in my opinion. Yeah. Fuck. I don't know. There's like an easy one for me, and maybe this is just like too whatever. But I do think The Last of Us 2 just gets like a lot of like.
Really?
It's.
I mean, you were kind of down on it.
I was down on it when it first came out.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know. The way you hear some people talk about it with this like reverence, I'm like, technically speaking, it's a really great and amazing game, but story wise, I think it just lays on its themes too thick and just tries to act like it's doing new things. Like it's like, oh, the good guys. Really the bad guy. Did you know that? It's like, yeah, I actually did know that. But like you beating the shit out of him in the beginning 5 minutes, I don't know, didn't really kind of do that for me. But I don't know. I think The Last of Us 2 is obviously, it had a bit of a divisive kind of rollout to begin with. And there was a ton of leaks, which really weren't fair to the game that kind of fucked up a lot of things. But
I don't necessarily disagree with you per se. I
like the way you hear like Colin talk about it on like a
with reverence.
Like I'm just like, dude.
I'm like, I think it's a good game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just still in the middle on it, and its story makes me.
And I don't like to
conflicted.
Be a hater. If you like it, I'm glad you do, and it is really a great game in many respects.
I think like just where we landed on with our review of that, like I was like just very in the middle. Like I kind of like that I was conflicted, and I still like how I'm like I don't love. I think Last of Us Part 2 is a good game, but
sure,
it's not.
I would agree with
it's
that
not
100%.
Like. Like bowing down to
we
it.
are not worthy.
Right.
Yeah, like exactly.
So my choice for this is probably one you could have never fucking expected. But I like looked up the Metacritic score and I'm like, what's a game? And I guess there's like 3.
Yeah.
I have. So I'm kind of cheating here. But like there was really not like one of those standout games where like I vehemently hate this game that's like really well loved.
Yeah, that's for me too, I would say.
I like a lot of games that people hate. Like Dragon Age 2 is a game that like didn't review well that I really like. But this is obviously the opposite of that. Bulletstorm.
Did that do well? Did it have a high?
And it's like 89.
I remember enjoying it a lot.
It has a higher Metacritic score than I would have thought, and I'm just like, I fucking hated Bulletstorm. Those 2 games and Fable 2 and 3, I really didn't like either.
Well, Fable 3, I felt like kind of got a bad rap when it came out, right? Wasn't there like a lot of shenanigans?
All 3 of those games are sitting in the 80 Metacritic range.
Sure.
And I was like,
wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
You don't say.
Yeah, I don't like Bulletstorm. Every time anyone brings up that game, I'm like, piece of shit.
I barely remember it.
Yeah,
which is
it
funny.
was like it was like People Can Fly did it.
Well,
Cliffy B like executive produced
I was gonna say it was
like,
the Gears ish people, right? Wasn't it some like Gears team people? Or no? Am I misremembering that?
No, I think you're right because People Can Fly did Judgment.
And
so they must
Cliffy
have
B he's the Gears guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a producer role on it. So Epic must have funded it.
That's the thing. I remember that vaguely.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. Because I think that's why I played it, because Cliff was involved
Trying
with
to
it.
start here with Thief. Like, if that was a 90, that would be pretty funny.
Fucking game sucks.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Continue.
so Fable 2 and 3 are just two fucking mediocre games.
2, I don't remember. 3, I actually played like during pandemic, and I enjoyed it.
You did?
Yeah, because I was bored. I had it on my Xbox, and I don't know why. I had like an inkling, and I went back and played it. Definitely some interesting choices.
You know what's funny? The trophies for Fable 2 and 3 were fucking nightmarish. I remember that.
God.
That might have colored my opinion of it.
It could have.
I wouldn't have doubted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. So yeah.
All right.
So take your pick. Bulletstorm, Fable 2 or 3. That's what I came up with. That was tough. It was a tough one. I just didn't have this obvious one.
It's so fun. Those are just games like, at least Fable 2 maybe not, because I just don't remember. I wasn't really conscious in the gaming zeitgeist during that time, but like 3, I don't remember getting like major critical acclaim. Bulletstorm, I remember people like enjoying, but I don't remember people being like.
It got like a VR version, like remastered. I'm like,
yeah,
what are we doing here? Nobody likes this game.
Very odd.
How are we making it?
Yeah.
So next one, there were two or three questions where I kind of like took it and expanded upon it.
Interesting.
This was specifically to you.
This is funny.
And it's Trio. Who was your favorite prom date?
This is a funny one. I don't know. I'm curious who asked this. I might have a guess.
But I know who asked this.
You do? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to. I'm gonna guess.
I hope you guessed the right one.
I'm assuming.
If,
and it
if
really
she
was
watches this far, it'll be pretty.
Yeah, I'm assuming I know who put this in, and you are my favorite prom date if it's this person. I think it was Vanessa Milano.
It was Vanessa Milano.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we did junior prom. We were great friends in high school. We haven't chatted in a while, unfortunately, but some great fond memories. I remember junior prom. We were at the Aston. It was like some kind of mill.
You went to King's Mill.
It was the junior prom.
Because that's where my junior prom was.
It was very cool. I remember being a grand time. I think we wore yellow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I saw Vanessa recently, actually.
How's she doing? I know she does like a lot of photography stuff now too.
Yeah,
and everything.
I know she's
I can't.
married?
It's like hard. Yeah, she is.
I want to say she has a kid.
I want to shout out her photography thing because I think she's still doing like really great stuff. I believe it's like heart photography or something like that. Vanessa, where are you at here? Hold on.
So I expanded this question a little bit.
Yeah.
Since I'm not being asked who my favorite prom date. And I don't really want to, I don't.
Gooch is a little perturbed, but no.
No, it's not that.
So it's really quick. She is heart photography, all one word with an underscore at the end.
Yeah.
So go give her a follow if you need some photographer.
A fellow Delconian?
Absolutely.
Is that what
Delconian? Yeah, I would say so.
Delconian?
Delcoite? Nah, I like Delconian.
Delconian.
Yeah,
okay.
Delconian.
So I expanded it to your favorite high school dance.
Right. You know what?
So
can I say mine really quick?
So at Marple,
Yeah.
Marple High School, or Marple Newtown High School,
Right.
that's where we both went.
Absolutely.
We had Frosh for freshman,
Right.
Soph for sophomore, junior prom, senior prom.
Right.
Those were our dances. We didn't have like a snowball or like a winter dance. I think there was homecoming, but that doesn't really count. Those were our 4 dances. My favorite was junior prom. I remember having a blast at junior prom at Kings Mill.
Junior prom for your junior prom, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I only went to my dances. I never got asked to any others. Did you?
I did. So, I think, you kind of figured out because I know Thomas had some friend, like he had a younger sister, I believe, one of our friends from high school who like needed some dates too, so that we were able to go to the junior prom for my senior year, and it was more fun than our senior prom.
Really?
Yeah, it was a blast. Like I remember actually like having a grand time.
Junior prom I just felt was like really nice.
Yeah,
and I think it was because it was at Kings Mill, which is a wedding
sweet.
venue.
Yeah, no, and it's
a
nice,
wedding venue. My senior prom, I really don't have. I remember dancing.
Yeah,
but I don't really remember anything about it. It was
Sure.
at Springfield Country Club, and it kind of just felt kind of mid. As
I
the kid would
completely
say.
agree. I remember the DJ.
Where was yours? Springfield?
I believe it was Springfield Country Club.
Yeah.
And I remember the DJ sucking really bad. For
Yeah.
our senior prom.
It's so funny. I'm thinking back, and I'm like, I don't remember like that much.
It's weird
about those dances.
I know. It's wild. But
I
definitely shout out Vanessa. Appreciate the question. Hope you're doing well out there if you're still listening this far. But good. And what did you say? Your favorite one was junior prom,
Junior
right?
prom.
Yeah, I think my favorite one out of like my actual year prom for sure, junior, like our junior year. But it is funny how much fun I had at the junior prom. My senior.
Did you go to
year.
any other dances in any other high
Yeah, I
schools?
went to Soft and Fresh, of course.
No. I
No, not in any other
Yeah.
high schools or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I'm
No.
like, it's so funny.
I wasn't a
Even
cool
though
kid.
I was like, all my
Right.
pious friends like went to O'Hara, I never went to any fucking O'Hara dances.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Fuck, ladies.
Next up, what are your top 4 non-superhero movies?
All right. I think I got these pretty locked and loaded. I got to think about the fourth one a little bit, but in no particular order.
Go
we
for
got
it.
RoboCop, Tommy Boy, Django, and the fourth is where I'm waning a little bit. Goodfellas is definitely up there for me. That could be a tentative fourth. Maybe. Yeah, we'll slot. I think there's definitely something else that could come up and take that away easily. But yeah, we'll go with Goodfellas.
I think this was inspired by Letterboxd.
That makes sense.
I don't know who has
top
it,
four. Yeah, that's a great idea.
But
yeah.
I think like, you ever seen like celebrities do this?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
great.
it's such a hard fucking question.
It's tough, man.
It is. But I recently did my favorites on Letterboxd. Unfortunately, one is a superhero movie, so I had to slot it. What do you think it is? What superhero movie? Come on.
No, it's a Snyder one.
Yeah.
It's Zack Snyder's Justice League or Watchmen.
No. Batman v Superman.
What
the fuck are we talking about
Forgetting.
here?
Yeah.
My top 4 non-superhero movies: La La Land,
Fair.
Tron Legacy, The Mummy,
Okay. Ooh, good stuff.
and the fourth one. This is recency bias, and I really thought about this. Doom Part 2.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't. That's the part. That's the only reason. Just because it's so fresh.
I love that movie.
I think okay, fine. If I'm gonna go for that, yeah, that's in there for sure. But I just am giving that some space, I guess, right now.
Yeah, it's hard.
I
mean, like,
would
dude,
swap out
if your top
Goodfellas
4 ain't changing, and like, you know, it's
actually
different
will-
on a different day.
I will take out Goodfellas and slot in the other guys because that is one of my favorite. movies.
Really?
I fucking love that film. It's
You know,
so
you
good.
do talk about that a lot.
I really like the
The
nice
other
guys.
guys.
No, I'm sorry, not
Ni-
the other guys. The
nice guys with Gosling.
Right. My
Yeah.
apologies. The
And,
guys keep getting me. And Crowe. Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
One of my favorite performances by Gosling by far. Next up, we got a little
This
fuck,
is
marry, kill. This is
fucking
pretty funny,
hilarious.
actually.
I thought about this like long and hard.
I mean,
pun
Birdo's
intended.
okay. So fuck, marry, kill. We got Birdo, Peach, and Daisy. Birdo's the bird, right? That's Birdo
is like the girl Yoshi pink thing.
Oh, the trans man.
Yes.
Yeah. So Birdo
That's
is
why it's interesting.
Birdo is trans.
Yeah.
Which, hey, one of the most earliest trans icons, you might say.
Yeah. Like literally though.
I don't know.
Trans icon.
I'd
Birdo.
I'd probably kill Birdo because I don't know how I'm having sex with that. Marry Peach because she's a princess,
Okay.
and then fuck Daisy because she's pretty hot.
See, I think I got the opposite logic from you.
Oh, interesting.
I'm fucking Birdo.
Oh, you want to see how it goes?
I'm fucking Birdo.
You want to see
Have
what
you seen
happens there.
Birdo's mouth thing?
That's true, but it's kind of big. How is it? Yeah, I know, but like, won't it just? It's like,
I mean,
you know,
it's got to have some sucking
it's like
power.
throwing a hot dog through a goalpost. Like, what are you gonna do there? Like, it's
mean,
so large. Yeah, it'll figure it out.
It's better than
All right,
nothing.
fair enough. All right, so you'll fuck Birdo. Who will
Yeah.
you marry and kill?
I'm killing Peach.
Oh, all right, fair.
Fuck
Why
Peach.
Why Peach? What did Peach ever do to you?
Fuck her.
She's a princess.
I mean, not like. Fuck
well,
her.
is
Fuck
Daisy
kill
a
her.
princess?
Yeah,
Are they like
but
related?
I feel like
What's
Daisy's.
the Daisy lore?
Da-
I don't know.
I
any
wish
Daisy
I could
lore.
tell you. Here's the thing. I think Daisy's underrated, underutilized.
all right, fair
That's why I would wife her up.
All right.
Because there's no fucking way Peach is gonna be a good wife. That's
Sure.
why she's out.
All right,
She's out.
all right, fair enough.
She made Mario getting in that castle all those years.
Piece of shit.
Fuck her.
The worst. Yeah, I agree. All right, fine. I agree. Okay, moving on to number 6. Gooch. What's more?
I love this question.
I
This is
think
my
it's-
favorite question.
I actually think it's funny. What's more important to you, Gooch? Being a nerd or being from Delco?
Being from Delco, easy.
Interesting.
I have some deep reasoning.
Fair.
This
no,
is,
I love it.
I took this question to like, no, I this is easy for me.
Yeah.
Being from Delco is more important. I think as a human being, it's really important to kind of remember where you came from.
Sure.
And remember, like, you know, the environment in which you were raised. Like, it fundamentally creates you.
Of course.
Like, the environment you live in, the place you live in. Delco is such a different kind of place compared to everyone else. You know, like, the fact that we...
In certain respects, for sure. Yeah.
The fact that we, you know, like refer to ourselves as being from Delco, and And I think the way we talk about being from towns and in this sector of the world and of the U.S. and you know, the way, like, you know, when people, it's different when people refer to each other about like what parish you're in.
Sure.
You know, that's like very uniquely like this area kind of thing. I think we have a camaraderie and a passion, not as Philadelphians, but people from Delco, like we're just kind of built different. And I think that's really important.
We're better than you, and we know it.
I think that's important to our identity as people. And I think that just comes out sort of that Philadelphian passion, that Delco atmosphere kind of comes out in our conversations. And
I hear you.
You're the one who named the podcast, correct? So like, you know, there must
DNN sounded just. It's so funny. I just think like
we've never really talked about it. Like,
well,
I don't
we
I
wanted
don't
something
even know.
recognizable. I remember. I
Right.
think the DNN just kind of rolled. Like I think my idea was like, you know, the CNN DNN News Network. I don't
Network.
know, Nerd Network. I don't know. It just kind of, I think, came to us one day. It came to me, and then, you know, you did the logo and everything. I think it was Delco was a nice, easy way to
brand
ourselves very differently.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we throw Delco Nerd Network in there, and I think it works really well. Again, I think our logo, which you did, turned out fantastic. It's weird. I definitely didn't think about this
That's the original logo.
That is, yeah. Hasn't changed.
There were some iterations, but like that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That's what I came up with.
I don't know. I probably thought about this more surface level than you in the way of like,
Okay.
you can't take one without another in that respect. So it's almost kind of tough to make my distinction here.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think you're right in the respect of like where we're born is how we're made. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I took it. I was like, anyone can be a nerd, but not anyone can be from
you have to
Delco.
be, yeah.
You know,
You take
that's something special.
Right,
That's
for
something
sure.
we have to cherish.
No, I can't help but just echo everything that you said. And I think being a quote unquote nerd is important to me in the fact of it's a lot of the things that I like. And it's definitely, I don't know if it's like, I can say it's like my personality, but it's part of it for sure. I really enjoy all this bullshit we have behind us. Yeah, and it's something I definitely locked into later in my life, especially in high school. I feel like when the MCU started coming out, that was for sure my like foray into the world. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can't take the Delco out of the nerd. And I don't know if you can take the nerd out of the Delco guy, but here we are. Other than that, Gooch, I think it's the Delco. That's a bit more important to me. That's a roundabout way of saying it.
I like that. Yeah.
Moving on though. Okay, we're on 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Do you care if I like delete this as we go?
No.
All right. Actually, I'll just put a space. First online play. I can't speak. First game you have ever played online was Gooch. What was it? Mine was Halo 2 for sure. I think that's like the earliest like multiplayer game I remember playing, without a doubt.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to make sure I know.
Right.
If I had to guess, it was probably World of Warcraft.
Oh,
If I really had to take a stab at it.
interesting.
And not even when I played it literally, but like the first, when I played the trial, because that was like, I didn't have an Xbox, so I wasn't playing Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was playing Halo 2 online, it was at a friend's house. So I'm like, sort of not counting it.
Right.
It was probably World of Warcraft, and then eventually rolled into Guild Wars 2. Like, there's some early games that I played, like, yeah, like, I'm trying to think. There were some, like, weird, you know what Habbo Hotel is?
No.
Habbo Hotel was, like, this social game. Like, you, like, logged on, and you just had, like, rooms, and people would,
Was it like that Penguin game?
It is kind of like Club Penguin.
Club Penguin, that was it.
I played this game, so I played Habbo Hotel, but I don't think this was it. Habbo Hotel, and VMK, which was Virtual Magic Kingdom, which was like a Disney kid version of that. But I don't remember what years this was all in, because I think World of Warcraft was before that. Like, I played the trial, which is weird to think about, because it kind of sounds like I would play like a Virtual Magic Kingdom, a Disney game when I was younger, but I think they all kind of were like in the same area. So I think World of Warcraft was probably my true first online experience on PC in like 2005 or 4. Yeah, 2003 or 4. I was in like 5th grade when I discovered that game.
Wow.
I didn't start playing it until 7th grade because I got the trial and my parents wouldn't put their credit card in. So
Are you crazy, Gooch?
I had to get the next best thing, which was Guild Wars, which is you buy it and there's no sub fee. That was the draw for Guild Wars. It still is. Them having no sub fee, but yeah, I think it was it for me. Halo 2 for you?
Halo 2 for me for sure. I just have many. Actually, I mean, there's Call of Duties and stuff. Like, just Halo 2 is the first like real foray into multiplayer that I remember at all. But I think most of my memories are with like a Halo 3 and like Black Ops for sure. When it comes to like multiplayer experiences that I was knee deep in, playing with my friends every day, and really kind of like
I was
enthralling myself.
I was knee deep into World of Warcraft, but in like a different kind of way. Like I think like the first knee deep multiplayer experience I had was probably Halo 3.
Right.
When I got my Xbox 360, but I was still playing online games, just like not with my friends.
Gotcha.
Like just
Right.
like
Yeah. Just solo online.
It's so funny. Those early online experiences were like very different. It was very interesting. I was having a conversation recently with one of my friends, and we were talking about. I'm like, when I was like like playing Halo 3, I was playing with guys probably like my age.
Sure.
People like in their 20s and 30s as like a 16-year-old kid. I'm like, it's so funny that like that, and we were so okay with it. And it was. I mean, I'm sure there were probably some weird situations going on in the world online, but for me, like I never had any weird
interactions
or anything weird happen to me. But it was.
You want to meet up?
Right. It was. But like I imagine it's so much more different now. With
to a
like
degree,
kids
for sure.
going online, like their parents are much more tuned into,
especially
Xbox. Being like, hey, like, I don't know.
Especially a lot of those parents probably played Xbox. A lot of like, I know it's funny, like the amount of understanding that I'll have over consoles, like by the time I have children compared to my parents, it's like night and day. Like it'll be insane. Like compared, like the amount of like understanding
I think my parents knew I was playing with other people.
No, I think they did too, but like they didn't know how to like stop that if they want, or like how to like really kind of tailor your system to make it so that you're following like the rules
there
they
are
want.
parental controls on the 360.
Oh no, I know,
but like
for
right,
sure,
know
but
how
like
to, it's like, hey, is he doing something he shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, we have no idea.
Right,
like I have,
right.
You know what I mean? Whereas like me and you, when we have kids, we know what's going on the Xbox, like front and back. And if we want to stop certain things from happening,
right? No more V-Bucks.
Yeah, no more V-Bucks.
Gooch
Get the
Jr.
fuck out of here, Gooch Jr. Gucci June.
Uncle June.
Uncle June. Anything else? First online?
No, that's it.
This one's gonna be for you, Gooch.
Yeah, you want to read it?
Yes.
So yeah, this one's a longer one, and then I made an expanded version that
expanded
was just like more generalized. But yeah, you can read it, and then we can read the expanded version.
So to Gooch, you say you hate Nintendo due to their business choices, which is fair. But how do you feel about their games themselves? Because they are under Nintendo, does that immediately make them bad in your eyes? If Kojima were to make a Nintendo exclusive one day, would you play it? And then the extended version, we added in a little bit here. How do you feel about Nintendo games? What does being a Nintendo game mean? If Kojima were to make a game, obviously, where you play it. So,
right.
I mean, that's basically the same stuff. So,
Gooch. Yeah, so I'll go first. Yeah. How do I feel about Nintendo games? It's a hard question. It's you've attacked me, as people
you've attacked me
with Nintendo. How do I feel about Nintendo games? I kind of feel like, to be honest, that they can be generally down a peg from everything else. Generally. And I know that's not necessarily true. I mean, I know Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, those are Game Award, Game of the Year nominee games.
Sure.
But I think for the most part, they are not as good as maybe we think they are. Like they're like, are we still talking about Kirby and the Forgotten World? Are we still talking about like the Switch? I feel like the Switch's games were a lot hotter. But I think as you go back into the Wii and look at some of like the Nintendo games that came out on there, I just don't think or even the Wii and the GameCube, like I just don't think all of that shit hits the same as it does now.
Sure.
I think now that we're older, and I think we saw this happen with the Peach game that's coming out, and we were talking about it in Discord, and it's like, who is this for? Because Nintendo markets to everyone, and I think that's actually a problem, especially if your game is actually for kids.
Sure.
How do you tell the Nintendo diehards this ain't for you? It's almost impossible.
Right, but I think that's on purpose in a way with them because they are known as the family system.
Right.
And they fully embrace that.
But when your game is actually like, what I'm hearing about the Peach game is like, oh no, like this is like pretty like childish. Like this is for like little girls, you know, and I don't mean that as a derogatory thing. I just mean that as like a fact.
I mean, I think you just got to do that with your marketing and showing people what the game is. You know what I mean? And
yeah, but I think when we were younger, that was easier to discern because I think most Nintendo fans, I mean, like literally we were younger.
Sure. And again, that's I think comes from Nintendo specifically targeting a more family-oriented audience. And even still, like, with their party games and all that stuff, those are definitely more childlike. But, dude, the amount of times I have people over to play Mario Party and stuff like that stuff still holds up, even though it's at its core very childish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think the onus is on the consumer in that regard, honestly, in the way to like kind of be able to discern that. But I get what you mean, for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and I almost feel like do you think I answered the question? Did I answer it?
I think you did, yeah. What about Kojima? Would you make one if Kojima were to, how would you feel?
I would feel pretty conflicted. I think I would. I think I'd get a Switch for it.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, like, and what does being a Nintendo game mean, which is the second part of it? And I want to let you go, too.
Sure.
Yeah, what does a Nintendo game mean? I feel like being a Nintendo game means, like, you're kind of loved in a respect, but you're also kind of hated. Or you're inaccessible.
I think they're kind of like, this is it and deal with it. You know what I mean? Kind of attitude. Like
right. They are a certain way, and you take it or you leave it.
Yeah.
And in a few years, you might not be able to play that game anymore. You know, I was talking to somebody this weekend. I was like, you know, just talking about Nintendo's catalog, and it's like, it is so strange. You know, I've had this conversation so many times. It's so strange that Nintendo does nothing with the Captain Falcon IP. Everyone loves Captain Falcon from Smash. Not even F-Zero. But they haven't really done anything with that IP. They've done nothing with Earthbound. They've done nothing with Mother 3. They haven't ported those games. Why? Everyone loves those games. Why not just be like, hey, it's available on the Switch eShop, and you can play it now? Why is that so hard?
And I think like
those are well-loved games. I just don't understand it. There's no reasoning against it. Well, there's no there's no well, because all the other companies are doing the exact opposite. Even Sony.
That's the thing. Like Nintendo has really kind of fallen behind with their digital catalog in the way of like, I don't know that it's a given that my entire Switch 1 catalog is gonna work on my Switch 2.
It's scary.
And like that's
the
weird.
thought of that.
I think I'd like to think that they figured that out by now.
Right.
But like,
what if they
maybe
don't?
They did. Or not even that they figured it out, because they understand that, but they could just be like,
I feel like
fuck it.
If Switch 1 games don't work on whatever the Switch 2 is,
If like that's not the same marketplace,
that is going to hurt sales.
It might
with our generation.
Oh, for sure.
With us.
But I do think, you know, they'll be fine.
If they don't have the launch titles,
yeah.
They need the launch titles.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 needs to be a launch title. I don't think you're going to get another Zelda game, but you're probably going to have another Mario game. I don't know if it's going to be Odyssey 2.
For sure.
But like, are we going to get another Mario Kart? Are we going to get another Party? Are we going to get another Smash?
Well, a new Mario Party did come out like within the last 2 years. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, it's like Mario Party like something or other. It's newer
really?
Than whatever that Mario Party is.
Right, that
I
launched on
place.
Switch, yeah.
So I don't know what exactly that is, if it's like an amalgamation of like old party games and stuff
I
like that.
think I was hearing on Dustin and the gang on Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, talk about it, and they were like, dude, I think everyone is really tired of the current version of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been out and they keep adding to it, and it's like...
Which I do get in that game of like, how different can you make it aside from giving me new maps?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, like Mario Kart or something like that isn't something I'm necessarily like perturbed about. You can just release new map packs and we can go.
But Trio, if you can't play it on the Switch too, that's a huge problem.
And that's what shows me though that maybe they're either getting ready to launch a new kart on the next console.
Nintendo has to be getting ready for something.
I know.
You know, like they're I mean, they are. We know that.
Yeah.
But like game wise, like they have to pack it up, because you know they're not going to release a big title at the end of the console cycle. They're going to Tears of the Kingdom was it.
Yeah.
They're going to release whatever the next big Nintendo IP is, which, you know, like Metroid Prime 4 has to be on that list.
Yeah, you'd hope.
But anyway, I feel like I kind of answered how I feel about Nintendo games and what do they mean in the same sense.
No,
Trio, let me throw it over to you. What else do you have to say?
Nothing really. I think I can only echo what you said. I feel like I've covered kind of everything. A Nintendo game is fine with not looking AAA. and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, it's a fact.
It's just a fact. And like when you look at like a Tears of the Kingdom versus a Horizon Forbidden West, aesthetically,
Right.
it's night and day.
Night and day.
So like
We're not even on the same
and it's
planet.
fair that it's fine that they've leaned into that and that's their thing. That's just the way it is. But you know, Nintendo's gonna Nintendo, and until like they start losing revenue, which I don't see that happening, they're gonna do what they want to do, and they can tell everyone to fuck off.
And that's what sucks, because
It
it's
does.
like I wish they recognized
they need competition.
the value
Yeah.
of a full digital marketplace.
Yeah.
And again, it's great that Xbox kind of started it, and then Sony eventually hopped onto
For
it
sure, yeah.
and understood it. And like I'm not here to like
I feel like they
go
both kind
full
of did the
console
last
war here,
generation
but
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
I don't understand why Nintendo needs to be like this. I just don't get it, and I don't think there's any
No, I know,
reasoning
yeah.
behind it besides the
can.
fact that they can and
Yep.
they are.
All right, Gooch. Number 9. I'm gonna get ready to commit seppuku or something. Seppuku.
Why? Why you?
What is your favorite cheesesteak joint?
No, I know why you said that. I know why you said that. My favorite cheesesteak place. Okay. Pretty contentious.
Sure.
And it used to be Jim's. Used to be.
Okay.
Jim's on South Street is like not Jim's anymore. And there was a fire there. I don't know if you know this.
I didn't know that. Was that the one that was like on the corner that like people would stand out in a line on a lot?
Is Jim's on South? I don't think Jim's.
can't-
On.
either way.
Jim's is like the black and white outside one. It looks like a very like 50s
Right.
kind of atmosphere. So Jim's there was a fire at Jim's, and it closed, and it like reopened under like a different name. So it's not like Jim's anymore.
But it's still owned by the same people?
I don't know. I don't think so.
interesting.
And there's a Jim's in like Springfield, like right up the street from Best Buy.
Interesting.
And it's definitely not the same. But my favorite cheesesteak used to be Jim's on South Street. It's no longer really there. I don't know. I there's a lot of like issues there with like the owners and like who owns it and the name. Like there's a lot of like behind the scenes
I see.
drama
Chicanery.
happening.
Yeah.
But recently, D'Alessandro's takes the prize
Fair.
for me. Some cheesesteaks.
That's a fun sound.
Some cheesesteaks around here are kind of bad. Like I think Thunderbird has a good cheesesteak, but like there's not enough meat, and when you feel like you've eaten, it's like, dude, I could eat another.
Yeah.
You kind of want to. You want a cheesesteak.
You want to feel full.
Right. You want to feel full, and I feel like you're getting that from D'Alessandro's. Delco Steaks is another one that's
Right.
really good. That's kind of newer. I think it's really hard to get a bad cheesesteak around here. You know, if you're not from Delco, you probably don't know that, but like, yeah,
Or even the Philly area. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, you know, Geno's and Pat's are kind of like your tourist traps, but I think Geno makes a pretty good steak
yeah.
sandwich. So
There's a reason they are.
yeah,
You know.
so D'Alessandro's would be mine. There's tons of cheesesteak places. You know, like anyone from this area has a fucking opinion about cheesesteaks. But I'm not a cheesesteak snob by any means. But
Yeah,
Trio
everyone.
has some sort of opinion he's gonna let loose right now.
Goose, you know me, Mr. Picky Pick when it
Yeah.
comes to my eating. I can take or leave a cheesesteak. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's fine. It's not my go-to. Do I have a favorite cheesesteak place? No, because I never really get them that often.
We don't talk about this on the podcast. Trio is one of the pickiest eaters I've ever encountered
says this
in
like-
my life.
Goose
But I
says
think
it's like
your girlfriend, Tamira's, has kind of opened you up a little bit.
For sure, but I mean, so like, I think I eat all of your basics. I mean, you take me to most places. Like, I can eat something at a Mexican restaurant. I can eat something at...
You used to
know,
not...
Again, I would not like to go there if it's the two of us and we have the option. Yeah, I would rather go somewhere else.
You want like American...
Yeah, I would rather go get an American burger or something. But like, you know, it's not like if I go to like... I feel like the most extreme picky eater that you were describing would go to like Casey's and not be able to get anything. Or like go to like Barnaby's and not be able to get anything.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know how you're living like that. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
What kind of world are you in, you know?
Yeah, cheesesteaks, like I said, I don't not like them, but they're not like my... I just don't have them that often. If I'm
I
gonna be
actually
honest.
made, like on Tuesday night, I made a homemade cheesesteak. Buy like the steak into the store.
How was it? Yeah.
It's really good.
Interesting.
It's kind of hard to judge how many like pieces of meat you need for like one steak. Like I was gonna do two, and I'm like I had two smaller ones, so I just kind of combined it all together and had like a nice juicy one.
I love it.
But yeah, I like cheesesteaks.
Love it. Next up, number
D'Alessandro's.
10, D'Alessandro's. Go check it out. Do you have a game that you started and stopped playing, Gooch?
No.
No, really, none whatsoever.
Nope.
Okay, well that's enough. That's it for Gooch.
I have one story.
Okay.
Watch Dogs 2 I put down for like 8 months.
Oh, interesting. And you finally went back to?
Yeah, and I went back and finished it, but it was like the one game that I was like, yeah, I remember like stopping Watch Dogs 2 midway through and just like not being interested in it at all. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get back to it. And I got all the achievements as a Gooch does.
I can't. I'm trying.
And but I have literally never stopped a game and like never picked it up again that I owned.
There's definitely some that I have, but I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head. Oh, there's one, Dragon Age Origins.
Wait, you
no,
played
Dragon.
Origins?
No, I'm sorry, Dragon
Inquisition.
Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
I started it. I got relatively deep. It just wasn't keeping me for some. I think it was the combat that really kind of threw me off in that game.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I found like the lore interesting and like the fantasy settings obviously there. But yeah, that's one that I can remember for sure. There's definitely more that are in my head that I just can't think of right now. But it's definitely happened to me a few times for sure. But it's usually on something it's rarely on a new game that I purchased, like that I'm excited for. It's usually on something where I'm like, oh, that's $5 on the marketplace and I'm kind of interested in it. Sure, I'll give it a shot. This is nothing. Nah, forget it. But yeah, that's really it.
I'll read the next one.
Sounds good
to you. Yeah, this is actually like I was like this is totally the trio because like my side is sort of played. Here we go. To trio, Gooch is very passionate about certain franchises and/or people in an industry. Kojima, Zack Snyder, etc. Do you have a franchise and/or people in an industry you feel strongly passionate about as well? Tell me, trio, because I don't really think I know the answer to this question.
Well, I think I'm passionate in a different way. You wear your passion on your sleeve, and I mean that in the best of ways. Like you're in it, and I appreciate
flaws,
that.
I know that.
Hey,
I'm not perfect.
No one is, but I think there are definitely things like that, and I think one that really kind of actually illuminated itself to me, especially this last year, and I've talked about it ad nauseum, so I won't go too deeply into it, was Rocksteady. And kind of what they managed to cultivate with those Batman games and that team and seeing it go to what we see in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League really hurt my soul in a way that I was not expecting. I think that they made something truly magical and interesting with those Arkham games and just something really well thought out and interesting, and then to just move on to just this weird looter shooter that just doesn't seem to know who it's for was one of the saddest turn of events I've had in a while. And I think that is definitely a game studio I was super passionate about, but unfortunately now I don't know where they go. And that makes me sad, for sure. I hope they can bounce back from it, but we'll see. And then I think aside from that, Dune has gotten up there for me in the way of like something I thoroughly enjoy and just love living in that world and learning more about it. But I think the one that I have the biggest connection with and just growing up wise was Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto and even Red Dead, and especially Red Dead 2. Like they become core. They have been Red Dead 2 has become core to my.
You have an
gaming
affinity for
personality.
Rockstar that I really just don't have.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think if you've been watching the show long enough, you definitely would get that. Like,
Yeah.
I like Rockstar games, but not nearly as much as Trio.
Definitely, and I just think that there is a certain pizzazz, if you will, to that developer, and I'm hoping that wasn't lost when we lost one of the Hauser brothers, and as well as the guy who plays Laszlo. I think his name actually might be Laszlo in real life. I hope that doesn't affect GTA 6 too much. I am a bit antsy about it. I will admit that first trailer really laid a lot of my uneasiness at ease, but we'll see. So I think those would probably be my top ones, Rockstar being the one that I am the most passionate about. But again, I do hold these kind of stronger opinions on them for sure. I guess maybe the way I display them is not, it doesn't make them seem as strong as they maybe are.
You have a different personality than me.
For sure, absolutely.
It's really
for sure.
what it comes down to.
100%. And that's what I think makes this show work to a degree, for sure.
Yeah, me and Trio are like, I don't think I realize it enough. We are very different in our tastes and stuff like that. What was that?
What? Was it my back?
Oh, that was like your face.
It was just weird. Sorry, I was getting a good itch.
But no people per se. Like no directors or like I thought you were gonna say like Frank Herbert for Dune.
Yeah, I guess Frank Herbert. Again, I don't know enough. Like, I really love his philosophy. All the interviews I've seen with him are incredibly interesting and
Frank Herbert's
enlightening in a
kinda
lot of
tough.
ways. It's
'Cause it's
again,
like-
he was more personal for
Kojima
sure. I mean,
and Snyder are still going. Right?
exactly, and they're still
like,
actively creating. And
Right.
if there was a director, I would say that I'd put like my je ne sais quoi behind. It would probably be a tie between Nolan and Villeneuve. And just because those guys, just watching them talk about movies like gets me going in a certain way that just it doesn't happen very often. And like I think that the passion that they have for their craft is incredibly infectious and makes me just want to watch all their movies, no matter. And I think especially Villeneuve, like his journey has been so interesting, going from Prisoners all the way up to Dune and Blade Runner and everything. Like he's an auteur. For sure. And, Tarantino, I, of course, have a big affinity for. Like, I think he makes some of my favorite movies. Django's one of them. I mean, that's a movie I could watch over and over and over again for some reason.
Top 4.
It's so good. Django! Oh, my God.
You will never love again.
It's so good. It's fantastic. Yeah. And those would probably be the directors I would look to for sure.
I got the next one.
Sounds good.
I got a good answer to this. Rock, paper, scissors, and the loser has to shave his head or mustache or run a full mile.
This isn't a question, first off. I'm just saying.
Listen, whoever wrote this, you look at me fucking right now. The only way I'm going to ever do anything like this is if you get 100 people to sub to the channel.
Absolutely. Hey. Yeah.
Review on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Join the Discord, follow on Instagram, follow on TikTok, follow on Twitter, follow on Threads. I won't have Facebook. If you can do all 6 of those things, I'll fucking do
I'll shave
whatever
my head.
you
I don't
want.
care. Yeah, that's so
And
true.
they're like legit, like you get like fans, like 100 of them. Like not
They're bots.
Yeah, like they have to like listen to like
2 or 3 at least.
podcasts. Yeah, they have to be like in.
Yeah.
But if you do that person and you bring that back to me and you show me the proof,
This isn't really this isn't a question. It's a request. It's fair.
I'll consider it.
Yeah, we'll consider it.
Thanks
do
for
we
your
want to rock,
question.
paper, scissors, shoot, though? Just at a... All right, ready?
What round?
Best one. Just one. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, you didn't do scissors. That's different. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes! I won!
Damn it.
Anyways, that means nothing. All
Guess
right.
you're shaving your head.
Yeah.
Or I'm shaving my
Yeah.
head.
Moving on. This one, I have an easy answer for.
Really?
Yeah. Most embarrassing moment on the podcast.
I couldn't even guess what you're about to say.
Our Justice League review, our first one. Because we were just like, I just remember leading up to that movie, we didn't know what was going to happen. They were reshooting everything. We finally got it. And it was like, it was pictures moving in front of our eyes. And we were like, this is good. This works. We're fine.
Right.
Like we
Delusional.
saw something.
Delusional
Yeah,
is what I
and
call that.
Again, I don't say embarrassing like that with like full. Like,
It's a different
obviously
kind
it's
of
a joke,
embarrassing,
But
though.
it
I
was
didn't
just
think
like
about
looking
that.
back, and I look at it, I'm like, what were we? We were just living in La La Land, and we were doing what we
Can
had
I
to
ask
do.
you a question?
Sure.
You ever fart on the podcast?
I'm sure.
Like,
but like not
to a
audibly.
point where like, shit, did Gooch hear that?
No, not that I can remember. Have you?
I think so.
I mean, I probably have where I've been like, ooh, I gotta watch that. But like,
Like,
you know,
cause that's
nothing
like, I would be
noticeable.
like, or like if like a guest is here and it's like, oh shit, like I got, you do one of these and
No,
you just
and,
let one
you
out.
know, I'm
these
sure-
are these are the genuine moments that like I would not bring up.
Absolutely.
If,
That's
like,
the thing.
Like if you didn't say anything, I would have been like, fuck.
Well, with an embarrassing moment,
That's never happened to
guess
me.
what? Our minds do the best we can to bury that shit, so we kind of forget about it.
Right.
And I'm sure you could go back through the hours of shit that we've done and find some very embarrassing and stupid takes that I've put out there that I'm like, oh, maybe that's right. But yeah, nothing really other than that like springs to
Yeah,
mind. Really,
this one was
really.
kind of difficult because I just don't think like there's like not one that
You
really
don't.
comes
No
to
one's.
mind.
And again, you don't stew on them, so you remember them. Like that's no. At least I tend to try to not to.
I pick this in a different way than you, which
Yeah.
is good. And again, this is why we do the podcast. The most embarrassing moments of the podcast, when for those 3 podcasts, it was Saturn's Legacy. What is that show called?
Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy, the Encino Man review with Luke,
Yeah.
and
3
Army
podcasts.
of the Dead.
Yeah.
The audio being blown out, I think that was one of the most biggest technical blunders that ever happened on the podcast. That actually the podcast was like somewhat salvageable, but that when I figured out that audio was all blown out, I was like mortified.
Yeah,
and I put them out. You can go listen to them.
Yeah, we put little like stingers on them to let people know.
Yeah. That was pretty embarrassing, but in a different kind of embarrassing. Like I was just like, fuck.
Like you felt like you were like, oh, I wasn't prepared or something
right,
like that.
I fucked up. The recording got fucked up, and that is kind of on me.
I hear you.
As the producer editor of the show,
it's what it is. And that funny thing is, that day we were talking about how we fucked up our recordings a different time. I think.
Yes, yeah.
We just
because we haven't lost. You know, I think we bring this up again. There's only like. Yeah, really, knock on that fucking table. We've only lost like one full recording, and it was like an E3 when we were doing like everything.
And we just gave up, didn't we? We were just like, fuck it. I don't even think we recorded it.
No, it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we were like,
well dude, even like sitting here doing this, not streaming it on Twitch, I'm like, I have to look. Because I'm like, like
you still want to make sure, yeah.
Whenever I move out of my mom's, you know, it'll happen. I'm gonna build in a confidence monitor is like the next thing that's happening, so I can like watch the stream. Like right now we have a monitor that's set up, but it's kind of like, I mean, I guess I could do it now, but it's so much more of like a setup than like not using it. Like I'm using like my work monitor for it. Like I don't have a third monitor naturally, so I would have to give this up. So it's like I don't want to like rely on it and then be like, oh, we don't have the confidence monitor anymore, and we've been doing fine without it.
Right.
But yeah.
Good stuff.
The next one is pretty funny. I have actually a funny answer for it.
This number 14. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I have anything to really say about this, but what are your thoughts on the recent Fortnite's on Fortnite's newest release of Gods and Myth for the season event, and what implications are there on the lore? I appreciate this question, but like we don't really play Fortnite whatsoever.
Listen, here's what we're gonna talk about. All right. So I checked out this update.
It does look wild.
I was checking out like what it is, and I'm like, where's the IP? Where's
Greek myths?
Where's Peter Griffin? Where's Henry Cavill from the Immortals? Where's that skin? Where's my
They would have to pay someone
Where's
to license
my
that.
IP movie show game tie-in with this? None.
You know why? Because they don't have to pay anyone any money. It's just they just get to use Greek lore.
I know, but like, what a cool opportunity would have to add some like random God of War.
Yeah,
characters.
sure.
But I was just thinking, I was like, is Fortnite running out of ideas? Are they running out of IP to get?
Maybe, sure, to a degree.
Do you think that there's a point where like that happens? Like it has to happen.
Well, sure, yeah, obviously, but I mean, where they'll run out? Maybe, yeah, I'm sure they will.
Like if we look at this.
That's a Fortnite rack up here. This is just a Fortnite.
Like literally, everyone up here.
Almost every like.
Are there Assassin's Creed characters in Fortnite?
I don't know. I want to say that there are. Yeah,
there are. We have Walking Dead. We don't have Dante's Inferno. No Deus Ex.
Halo.
No Mass Effect. We have Halo. We have DC characters.
Yeah.
We have Marvel characters.
Witcher. Is the Witcher in it?
Yes. Yeah. Death Stranding. No Death Stranding.
No.
I'm sure Kojima would love to be in Fortnite. Just ask him.
Absolutely.
No, I don't think we have any, have any Final Fantasy characters. But like a majority of the people up in the wall behind me are in Fortnite. And what are the lore implications, man? There is no fucking lore. The lore is real life.
Do you want to know what the
Fortnite is real? That's the lore implications.
Do you want to know what the lore is? Ready Player One. That's what this lore is. It's just everyone's just their own thing, and I will.
Yeah, but no,
I was gonna say it's just wild to see what Fortnite, has grown into. You got people using freaking energy swords in there. You got Spider-Man swinging from buildings with an oak, which Jesus Christ, which looks like a pretty all right mechanic. It's wild.
Yeah, I just think I thought it was interesting. Like this update was so like season 1 of Fortnite where we just like weren't into the IP.
No, I kind of like. I mean, dude, the one battle I was watching when they're just throwing lightning bolts at shit in each other, and they have like their angel wings and shit. It's pretty cool. Looks pretty wild. And last but not least, Gooch. Picture this: imagine you're on an island, all alone with yourself, and you have to choose one movie, one TV show, and one game to have on repeat. I guess for the rest of your life, what would you choose? This is a tough one.
Show Sopranos.
Okay.
I think it's like really well rounded in like comedy, drama. I think it'd be good. I would like to watch.
I like it.
I would like to rewatch The Sopranos. I think that would be, I don't rewatch shows, but I think if I had to, that would be it. Game.
TV show, honestly, I might have to go.
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
You know what's
Give me
funny?
some time.
Even though it ends, I just the acting in Game of Thrones in those earlier seasons is so good. They just had to shit the bed so bad at the
But
end.
you'd still take it to the island.
Think about it. It's up there. Other than that, I'm thinking like comedy shows, honestly, like something like The Office or like something in that realm that's like a little bit more easy to digest and you have a lot of it.
Sure.
Dexter's up there for me too, but that's only 4 good seasons.
You got to pick one.
So I'm getting tough here. All right, all TV shows are tough, man. You know what? TV show, fuck it. I'm going Breaking Bad. I'll take it.
Game, Witcher 3.
Okay, that's a good one. It would definitely be an RPG for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I could explain, but you get it. You get it.
I agree.
You get it.
We are coming up on 3 hours here, so
yeah, I know.
Game. I don't know, man. I guess it would have to be something. I want to say Knights of the Republic, but that's too short. It's too old. I don't want to be boring and pick The Witcher too. Maybe Skyrim, man.
Loser.
I don't know. Skyrim, I'd replay that so
many times. Do you have
times.
online access on this island?
I don't need it. As long as I have the
Mods?
full kit and
Endless.
caboodle of the DLC, I'll take that.
Okay.
I don't need the mods.
Movie? Top Gun Maverick.
Django.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to end it. We've gone 3 hours. We're almost done.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching if you've gotten this far.
Absolutely.
And Trio, it's almost 9 o'clock. We both got to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're gonna ask each, and I haven't read Trios yet, so I don't know what he's gonna ask me. But we're gonna ask each other a question and end it off. A little endearing moment for us.
Oh.
It has been a very different kind of podcast. This has been a weird one.
It's our longest now.
Probably not.
Sure. 3 hours?
I don't think it'll be free.
Sure.
Hard.
I think it'll
We've
be
been
probably around 2:45 though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's not make sure it gets a 3 hours.
No, absolutely not.
I'm ready to pack it.
I am too.
let's get these.
Yeah.
So, what's your question to me?
All right, Gooch.
I'm not even gonna read it.
What was the toughest change we had to implement from a technical side when it comes to the podcast?
That's easy. DSLR.
So what is DSLR? That's the
The
camera?
DSLR is the type of camera we have. So, I mean, you remember all the you looking too white, the lighting issues we had on the podcast simply because we were using a Logitech C920 camera, which is like the standard webcam you buy. Everyone uses those fucking things. I got a DSLR for Christmas, and I didn't ask for it.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of funny to like look back at that timeline where we still have been on that webcam.
Could have been for a little bit, at least, at the very least.
Yeah, like and like upgrading that DSLR, I had to buy some capture cards and some cables and a charger so that I can plug the camera in. It doesn't use any battery; it's just hooked up right to the wall.
Right.
So it took a little finagling, but that ended up being the best purchase that we made. Well, not a purchase, gift. But also one that was like really needed. Like the mics are probably like another one, but like that was easy. That was an easy upgrade, and we did that. But like the DSLR was like I gotta put out like $3,000 or something like that. Like I don't know how much that camera cost.
Jeez.
So thanks, Dad.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr.
So
Ragucci.
that ended up paying off. But yeah, that was where I felt like really roadblocked by like money.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, this is a passion project for us, so it's tough to want to like,
Right. We've invested money in it.
Definitely.
But like, like last year we spent the most money. I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but we spent the most money on the podcast last year for sure.
We ever have, for sure.
Yeah. Between the photo shoot we did with your cousin, Chaz
Recording,
doing the edits for Too Many Games, and so a few other things, but like just those two things mainly, like we spent almost like, like upwards of like rounded up like $1,000.
Right. No, it's wild.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for the question. My question to you: what's something you've learned from doing the podcast that you've taken into everyday life?
teamwork, Gooch. Genuinely, like working with someone, like, you know, working with someone on something and knowing when to compromise, when to not, when to but genuinely, like, we're learning how to work stuff out between two people, especially as close of friends as we are. It's
I'm laughing because I know I'm very difficult to deal with sometimes.
But also
I'm very adamant about things.
But I also have my own ticks and itches and all my own shit to go along with. So, like, it is invaluable to learn how to, not to go along to get along, because that sounds bad, but to, like, to work something out, if that makes any sense. To, like, have to kind of, you know, put two heads together who might have some different ideas at some point, but to form a cohesive thought, to form this cohesive idea. And I think that is an invaluable skill to learn. And also just talking to people. I think genuinely having conversations like this
really helps on dates.
No, for sure. Yeah, and even just
honestly,
like with my job interview and stuff, I brought up the podcast during, because they're like, you know, I do a sales job now, and I'm taught. They're like, oh, like, what's your prior experience? I'm like, well, you know, I do podcasts, I have conversations a lot, so I'd like to think my conversational skills are higher up there, or just because you know we're doing these every weekend. But yeah, I would say that's probably one of the largest things for sure.
I'm debating whether I want to fully say this or not, but I really liked your answer. That I think that kind of meant a lot to me, because we had a rough year last year. We had
a lot going on. Yeah.
Me and Trio had a lot of disagreements on things, and him not being able to make the panel was really hard on me. Not because he just because it's like doing that without him was really tough. And I know it was a tougher decision for him to make to not come, but it like. We had a lot of like issues last summer, and I'm not going to go into it. There's really no beef. And again, Trio's sitting right here.
I'm only going to beat the shit out of him later.
Yeah. But it was, you know, like that. I think that was like probably like one of the tougher moments we had, when we were just like, it seemed like every other week we were betting heads about something.
Sure.
And then the lingering thing from the panel,
right,
doing the panel at Too Many Games, was just like still lingering on me. And I was like, you know, like not okay with it, but I had to be okay with it. But sure. You know, it's kind of, I myself realized it's like, you know, I needed to fucking relax, but like, I just felt like I couldn't come back from it. But no, I feel like the same thing, you know, kind of also knowing to like, hey, compromise and be fair.
Sure.
And like I just said, I know I can be tough to deal with. Sometimes like I feel like, you know, I'm too like that sometimes. I'm like that with everything.
We all have our own things, man. No, I know.
Yeah.
It's not that I mean to say I know, like, that does suck. No, it's just like, that's just the way we all have our take. I'm a little too lax, to be honest, to a certain degree sometimes. You know, Emma said at the one podcast, I'm type A, you're type B, or vice versa, whatever
did she say that?
She's like, oh, so you're the type A one and he's the type B, or like whatever the opposite is, which I thought was hilarious. But I think that's, you know, that's how it works, the yin and the yang, as they say, balance in all things.
Yeah. I was going to just say something and I forget what I was going to say. Shit. I mean, I've had thoughts about like, I'm like, what if Trio left the podcast? Or like, I'm like, I don't think I could do this without you.
Sure.
Like genuinely, like I
love you, son.
I think we've been doing this for too long. Like I know, like we had Joey Farrell and Tim Appleby
and Tim
involved,
for a beginning,
and they left. Mm-hmm. But like after that, and like the years after that, like it just kind of solidified the both of us. Like,
sure.
Yeah, I don't like if I died for some reason, I don't think Trio would continue DNN.
I don't even know how I would, to be honest. I feel
and like if something happened to Trio or Trio left, like I'd like, oh God, that would be so hard. Like I don't know if I would like continue it. Like it just seems like,
or just create something new even.
It just seems like we're both too inextricably tied to the
brand now, as
you
they
know,
say.
It's hard to say. It's like, hey, were you still going to be doing the podcast in 5 years? Maybe. Like it's not that we're too far in deep that we can't stop. But
no, of course not. It's one of those things of like, we do it because we like it and we have fun doing it.
Right.
And that's a major reason of it. And hey, if it were to pick up into something grander and larger,
that'd
be fantastic.
There's always such a weird reality that I really have like never truly pictured or like even like want to happen. It'd be such a weird
I think
decision.
it's such like a
fantasy.
Exactly. And I think 99% of this is just doing it and just doing it because you want to do it. And you can't have this. I mean, I think it's good to have dreams and aspirations. Don't get me wrong, but like, going in with this, with the idea that we're going to make it big and that this is going to pay for our lives, I think it's just untenable.
I have a lot of negative opinions about content creators and podcasters and people like trying to make it big on Twitch and YouTube. I just think it's such a rough life and it's such a grind. I would never want to do it to myself, and I've never really thought about this. I would never want to do it to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you would say if it was like Trio. I think we should like really consider like doing the podcast full time. I mean, like that would be like ridiculous.
But again, that would be
for me
like,
even to say.
but that's if we even got to that. I think geez, I cannot speak today. I think if we got to that point, that would just be a totally different mindset in the way of like, oh, we can actually just like make money off this. If we got to the point where we were actually able to make a living off this, that would be a conversation we'd obviously have.
That'd be such a. It's so funny because like I literally again such a fantasy.
Of course,
like I could never imagine that happening. Yeah. And I don't. It's it's like funny. I was like, I don't even really necessarily want it to happen.
No, again, the main reason we're doing this is because it is our hobby.
Yeah,
an ancillary thing would be cool. Like, it would be cool and really wild if this did pick up to the point of where we could do this for a job. But that's not the end goal.
Yeah. It's the idea of like, like again, I've seen a lot of Twitch streamers like sit at this like, medium range, and Bog Otter, the Twitch streamer I worked for, he's not a content creator anymore. He works at ArenaNet now, the company makes Guild Wars. He got like a marketing job there, but like his content creator lifestyle, like, I knew what it was like from the back end. He was grinding, and he was not.
And that's that's the thing.
And he was not making the money to be like comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you're working hard. You are,
and I'm like, it's a hard grind. I'm like, I think that kind of kills games for you. I think it kind of kills that whole.
Well, that's the thing. I could never imagine like putting all my eggs in this basket.
Right. It would just be so stupid.
Yeah, and hard for sure.
I don't understand why people want to do that. I understand.
There's an allure to the idea of being able to just be a YouTube person.
Like, don't you want to play video games to live? It's like, do I? I don't know.
In theory, that sounds cool, but like,
no.
In practice, it sounds like it could get a little headachy.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of there's a lot of like lifestyles. Like Twitch content creators don't like take time off, and it's just Twitch fucks you over, YouTube fucks you over. Like everything is working against you. Like it doesn't make sense to put all your eggs in one basket.
I mean, talk about
it.
Like
fuck yourself.
I mean, think about all our socials. Like, we post all the time, but they don't really get a ton of traction.
Yeah, social media is useless.
Unless you pay. Like, I'd be curious if we genuinely started paying for like ad things, if that would change anything. But like, I don't think so. But I don't know, Gooch. Maybe we should wrap it up here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut it.
No.
It's just starting to hurt, and I'm hungry.
No. I was gonna say, thought you were gonna end it right there naturally.
Fantastic.
Anyway, yeah, because that has been our 100th episode.
Thank
of
you
the
all.
Delco Nerd Network podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us on our 100th episode. It's been a fun time. 3 hours strong. Probably going to end up being a little bit shorter than that, but
we'll see.
We'll see. Thanks, everyone, for watching. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We usually stream these live as well. We did not for this one just because we wanted to do a little editing on our side here. But always check out our Discord. We'll be posting when we're going live in there. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We're on all your favorite social media pages as well. Everywhere with an @sign, we are at Delco Nerds. Otherwise, just search us by name. You can email us all your comments, questions, or concerns, delconerds@gmail.com. We'd be happy to get back to you. If you can like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend about the podcast here. It goes a long way, and we really do appreciate it. A comment below always helps too. Whatever you can do, we really appreciate your time. We appreciate you being here with us for 100 whole episodes, with hopefully many more to come. But you can find all this information on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.